Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Brownsburg Varsity Football, powered by Audio Sports Online. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by xrbradio.com, the Hendricks County Flyer, and McDonald's. This game's sponsors include Bill Estes Ford, Brownsburg BMO Harris Bank, the Hendricks County Estate Buyers, Ivy Tech, Nelson's Jewelers in Brownsburg, Pete Fay, your State Farm agent, Westside Plumbing, and Panuni's Pizza and Wings. It is a nice night for football here in Brownsburg, Indiana. They welcome everybody via radio to CF Roark Stadium in Brownsburg, here on the campus of Brownsburg High School. Tonight's game between the Brownsburg Bulldogs and McCutcheon. And joining me in the booth tonight is Justin Hobbs and Chris Worley. We will be your team for the broadcast tonight. And the Broncos come in with a 3-9 record from last year. Brownsburg with its sole loss, Chris, in the first game of the sectional contest against Zionsville after posting a 9-0 record.
Yes, that's a great season overall. Right now, I think in the last two seasons, it's been 18-3, or at least the senior class is 18-3, is what the coach told me. But yes, sure, they had that one stinging loss after a perfect 9-0 season, but they come in full of optimism, and especially with these new facilities here, a beautiful new turf field, beautifully painted, beautifully colored here, and a giant new home grandstand. Great new facilities for the Bulldogs this year.
BillEstes.com field. Many community partners have come together to complete the new facility here for students and the families of Brownsburg. Bill Estes Ford in Brownsburg and Bill Estes Chevrolet at 96 and Michigan Road contributed for the funds necessary to complete the BillEstes.com field. And we are sitting in the press box, which is part of the Indiana University Health Athletic Complex. Indiana University Health now partners with Brownsburg High School to provide athletic training services to the students. In addition, the new press box, along with a portion of the bleachers, were funded through the generosity of Indiana University Health. So Brownsburg comes off a 9-1 season with their sole loss in the first game of sectionals, and they lose a fair amount of talent, Chris and Justin, on defense, and some of those kids went on to play some college football. Some just graduated, but the coach feels like that they've kind of recharged, and that especially on the offensive side of things, some high expectations for the new starting quarterback for the Bulldogs.
Right. I talked to Coach about this last night, and senior Jacob Lambert will take over the quarterback duties. Wears jersey number 6. He is a senior. He has played quarterback before. As a sophomore, he quarterbacked at the JV level. Coach said he won a couple big games. Not necessarily a strong thrower, so you can expect him to be a two-way threat with some running here. And, of course, on Brownsburg offense, you have to talk about, of course, their talented sophomore running back, Tokes Akenabrande. He's a fantastic threat at running back. Coach said he is really ready to go. He hasn't touched the ball much in preseason. He only ran the ball 2 times in their scrimmage last week versus Plainfield. So he is raring to go tonight.
Thank you, Chris. And Justin, as we get ready for the national anthem, a group of middle school kids out on the field with the American flag. What's going through these kids' minds right now, especially those kids that are freshmen? A brand new facility. The stadium's going to be packed tonight, especially on the home side of things. And just a lot of energy, I think, going through these kids' minds.
Well, let's go ahead and hold on just a second. Let's listen to the national anthem here.
I think we're at a moment of pause, the staging of the flag for the anthem. I think the band will be playing the national anthem, and they're still coming into the end zone bleachers there.
So, yeah, like you said about just kind of the thoughts and everything going through the players' minds, especially freshmen, some freshmen, and a lot of the sophomores, first time out here on this field playing on the Friday Night Lights. I mean, you're going to have nerves. Everybody's going to have nerves. Even if you're a senior, you're going to have nerves. If you don't have nerves, you shouldn't be playing the game. You're out here to ultimately do your best. And I think Coach Comer's going to put out a pretty decent squad, even though we've lost quite a bit of skill players from last year. I think for the most part they're going to pick right back up. It helps with returning a sophomore that's going to really head the charge on offense. So now I think the band's set, so we can go ahead and listen to the national anthem now.
did a broadcasting no-no there. I led Justin into the national anthem with a question, and then the band saved me by being a little bit delayed to the bleachers there. We will be back here next week, maybe a little early in the broadcast to talk about that, but Noblesville Millers come in, and now we're ready for the national anthem. Our national anthem by the Brownsburg marching band that has stationed themselves in casual attire tonight, Chris and Justin, for the kickoff season. They're not in those Hot Wool uniforms. They're in shorts and the purple T-shirts located in the end zone bleachers. A little bit of stuff about Brownsburg. Brownsburg High School has an enrollment of about 2,300 students. Founded in 1915, as you all know. They are the Brownsburg Bulldogs with the purple and white uniforms. They play in the Hoosier Crossroads Conference and the new venue here at CF Roark Stadium, BillEstes.com Field, the IU Health Athletic Complex. And again, can't stress enough, as Kristen and Justin both touched on, beautiful facility, really almost like a small college atmosphere with the field and we had RVs in the east parking lot and a big cookout and camping, and the student section is really riled up. Down out of the press box and to our right in the south end of the home bleachers there. You can look up and you can follow all the action for Brownsburg Athletics at brownsburgathletics.com. And for all of you socialites, you can follow them on Twitter at BHSDOGS, at BHSDogs. So getting ready for the introductions here of the of McCutcheon and the Brownsburg Bulldogs. The crowd's going to rise to its feet. They passed out some thunder sticks here tonight, guys, so the crowd should be very enthusiastic.
Toga night for the students. They're clad in their togas off to the right, and there's the Spirit Award from Channel 13. They're hosting the trophy there. They've won that a couple times.
Yeah, Justin and Chris did not get the toga memo, so they're in their normal attire, as am myself, I must confess. But just a great atmosphere here at Brownsburg Athletics. And really, over the last few years, this program has, in leaps and bounds, this facility is a product of that, I think, and but Brownsburg went through some pretty lean years when it came to football. You look down towards the north end of the stadium, football state champions in back-to-back years, 1984 and 1985, and a lot of changes, but probably one of the most significant changes Brownsburg looks at over the course of the last 20 years, 15 or 20 years in football is they're now a Class 6A school. This is the first year for that in Indiana high school athletics.
And 6A is as high as you can go. That's the top level, so I think in the state this year there are 32 6A teams now, so a new classification. They're at the top. This is Coach Comer's 8th season now as Brownsburg head coach. And when I talked to him last night, he was very excited at being at this level and, of course, the new facilities.
And, Justin, what do you think that means when we say a 6A? I mean, we're not used to that in Indiana. There are some states, I think Illinois even has Class 8A schools and so forth, a lot more division. What's that mean for this program? Basically going into what IHSAA views as the largest or some of the top 32 programs in the state.
Yeah, I mean, if you're coming here from out of the state or anything like that, it also kind of helps football coaches around the states as well. Kind of come in and you automatically think what's the highest class? You're going to have your best players at the highest class. 6A. I heard a stat earlier that 6A ranges from Ben Davis being the largest school in the state of Indiana at like 4,700 students to, I believe, Lafayette Jeff is that last and final team in the 6A ranks at like 2,200, 2,100 students. So, I mean, it's a wide range as far as enrollment in the gap in 6A, and then you got the 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1A schools as well. So But 6A, most likely, you're probably going to have more collective. You're going to have like 4 or 5 solid guys off of teams that could essentially go D1 or maybe D2 to further their football careers, whereas the lower class schools, you might get just maybe one, maybe a couple off of each team.
And we talked about this when Chris and I do the Brownsburg baseball games on the radio as well and work as a broadcast team there. We even touched on the changing face of high school athletics in Indiana over the course of the last 10 years when we had some of those discussions. And everybody thinks about Indiana, or they used to, from my era. I'm 41 years old, almost. I'll be 41 in a couple of weeks, not quite yet. But they look at, to me, Indiana is always a basketball state. And now you've really seen the transition into a really, and I even heard this on the radio today on Sports Talk, is Indiana's become a destination for recruitment for college football around the country.
Yes, there was a stat in the newspaper, or a report in the newspaper today, the Indy Star, that ranked metropolitan areas as far as football powers, number of D1 players graduated. I'm not sure how all they came up with the ranking, but the Indianapolis area, central Indiana area, was ranked number 3, and I think it was behind Los Angeles and I forget. I was really surprised to see that, though. They're number 3. And football, with the marketing they do now, and of course being a part of a big community Friday night, has really grown here in the state of Indiana.
Well, and I got to tell you, and I'll get you guys' thoughts on this too as well, but you look at, Notre Dame went through some lean years at the college level in football in the state of Indiana, and now they've kind of come back charging on to the national scene. Always probably the most respected college football program in the country, but they had some lean times there. And now we see teams like Purdue that have retooled with their new head coaching staff in there. I really feel like they're going to do a lot of good things. And obviously there's been some big changes in, maybe we haven't seen it all on the field yet, but in recruitment, especially in Bloomington at IU with Coach Wilson, just a huge change in the perception of that team. And going into my family, we're IU season ticket holders for IU football. We're going into this season probably more excited than we've ever been. We're not expecting a national championship, but really competitive on the field. And a lot of that goes right back to high school football in Indiana. I know Coach Wilson at IU brought in 5 of the top defensive recruits in the state of Indiana, and then went out and got Chase Dutra from Brownsburg last year and brought him in. Saw a guy that's really effective and can play on both sides of the ball.
Certainly, you see that there's Indiana high school has become more of a feeder for those programs. Before, to get good teams here, you had to go out of state to recruit, of course. But yes, that's absolutely true, and we've heard good things about Chase Dutra already at that level. So he was an exciting, dynamic player. It's hard for Brownsburg to lose an impact player like that, but Coach is ready to develop more of the same here. We do see the McCutcheon players making their way to the far sideline. Thin crowd on the far sideline, but I've been told there are 4,000 seats now here on the home grandstand side. So they are looking to fill those 4,000. Looks pretty full.
It does look pretty full, and the McCutcheon crowd has a little bit longer drive, and based on the time, they may show up a little bit later. But on our side, on the home side of the field where the press box is, it looks like that we're definitely going to have a packed house tonight, have a lot of people standing around. The end zone bleachers on the south end are starting to fill up, and there's still people parking their cars along Odell Street and in the parking lots around and walking into the stadium. We do want to remind all of our listeners that tonight's game is also being simulcast on IndianaTalks.com as well as XRBRadio.com. We want to welcome those listeners that have joined us for Hoosier Crossroads Conference football, Class 6A football for the first time in Indiana as the McCutcheon Broncos come on to the field through the south end gate there past the south end zone. They'll come onto the field, huddle at the on the purple and white Dogs emblem at the 50-yard line. And we are still awaiting the ovation for the Brownsburg Bulldogs to come through the tunnel. That's what your camera is trained on for those of us that are following us visually online tonight. Tonight's game brought to you by McDonald's. August 24th, come celebrate the grand reopening of the McDonald's off Raceway Road in Avon, located at 10747 East US 36. Right in front of Meyer, there will be a huge giveaways, including 100 coupons for both free Egg McMuffins and free Big Macs for a year. They will also have 49-cent ice cream cones, which will appeal to me and my kids, and all day long, and be giving away a $1,000 scholarship. Plus, don't miss Ronald McDonald himself at 1:30. So come out and enjoy all the fun on August 24th. We're celebrating the grand reopening of the McDonald's in front of Meyer off of Raceway Road in Avon.
We also want to thank our friends at the Hendricks County Flyer that have helped us make tonight's video webcast possible. Please check them out online as well as watch tonight's game at flyergroup.com.
Hendricks Regional Health, Motion 360 by Hendricks Regional Health provides care for the way you were meant to move. We care for every muscle, bone, and joint in your body and get you back to the activities you love. Get more information online at mymotion360.org. Bill Estes Ford or Bill Estes Ford, our number one goal is to save you time, whether you are dealing with our service department, parts department, or new and pre-owned sales. Our goal is to make sure you are a satisfied customer and that it is an easy process. Don't forget, you can have a complete oil change for just $19.95. Check them out online at BillEstesFord.com. Bill Estes Ford, soon to have a new look at 450 East Northfield Drive in Brownsburg. Call today at 317-852-2231. Well, we'll hold off on the rest of paying the bills, as they say in broadcasting, with some more ads. And we have to thank all of our sponsors that are here tonight that are sponsoring the broadcast, including Bill Estes Ford, Brownsburg, BMO Harris Bank, the Hendricks County Estate Buyers, Ivy Tech, Nelson Jewelers, Pete Fay, your State Farm agent, Westside Plumbing, and Panuni's Pizza and Wings, along with the Hendricks County Flyer and McDonald's. So we are still awaiting the Dogs coming through the tunnel. It's 6:57, and here they come between the stands. Crowd will come to its feet and
Troy,
put their hands together. The student section decked out in their Greek attire for toga night.
Players following the tradition of touching the rock before they take the field in the end zone.
The purple rock there in the south end zone, reminiscent of the rock at Memorial Stadium in Bloomington. Just keep an eye on that tunnel and wait for the Dogs to take the field. And here are your 2013 Brownsburg Bulldogs varsity football team.
Coach Comer now making his way to the sideline. I know to look at get over and see these full, brand new, packed, giant grandstand. He's got to be excited.
The Bulldogs are coached by head coach Brett Comer. His assistant coaches include Zach Dennis, Bo Hill, Jeff Jones, Kevin Cooch, John Lulin, Chad Neal, Eric Mattingly, Pete Mattingly, Josh Yoder. The strength coach is Brian Neese. The equipment manager is Dan Adams, Courtney Begeman, Alyssa Green, Liz Hasby, Candace Littleton, Hope Massingale, Jenna Sharp, and Hannah Text are the team managers. Their team physicians are Dr. Sneed and Dr. Dawson. Your athletic trainer, Chris Compton and Brandy Crum. On video for the team is Carol Connor. On student video, Alicia Levell, Megan Cattermole, and the stats keepers, the all-important stats keepers, Chris I almost lost it. Josh Carroll, Mike Luce, Tom Robbins, and William Robbins. We've already got our own fans down below us here in the press box. Again, as they roll up the tunnel on the south end zone, the Bulldogs have taken their position on the near sideline. The McCutcheon Broncos are on the far sideline, as your radio dial or your television screen would look.
Brownsburg captains include number 6 for this game, Jacob Lambert, number 2, Zach Carlson, and number 34, Nathan Ramsey. All those are seniors.
Zach Carlson, the defensive captain. He's a 6'2", 210-pound senior linebacker. And Jacob Lambert, the starting varsity quarterback, 6'2", 220 pounds, is also a senior. This is his first year as a starting varsity quarterback. He was a starter at JV last year. Is that right, Chris?
I'm sorry, Troy.
This is his first year as the varsity starting quarterback.
Yes.
He was a starting quarterback for the JV squad last year and a backup on the varsity team.
He started as a sophomore. Last year he kind of did a number of things. He can play defense too, but he will be the starting quarterback here. Now down by the goal line, you may see a different lineup with maybe a different, faster quarterback, maybe trying to get around the end or so. But, inside the 20, you may see a different lineup.
Nathan Ramsey, number 34, the 6'2", 230-pound senior defensive lineman, is also out there for the coin flip.
Mr. Bill Estes on the field for the coin flip, too, in a field that bears his name, BillEstes.com field.
Brownsburg has won the toss. They will elect to receive, and they will be going from right to left on the radio dial. Brownsburg will receive the kick in the south end of the field. They will be going north in the first quarter. McCutcheon will be kicking from north to south.
So great to be a part of this community. On behalf of Andy Wornsman, Bill Estes Ford, we're so pleased to be here at Bill Estes.com Field tonight. I got one thing to say. Let's go, Dogs!
Mr. Bill Estes from Bill Estes Chevrolet and Bill Estes Ford. Bill Estes Ford in Brownsburg. Bill Estes Chevrolet there at 96 and Michigan Road in Indianapolis, or Zionsville, giving a little encouragement to the what looks to be probably a home capacity crowd here at CF Roark Stadium in Brownsburg. Tonight's 6A matchup, the season opener, the Brownsburg Bulldogs and the McCutcheon Broncos.
Tonight's simulcast also sponsored by BMO Harris, established in 1882 as Harris Bank and owned by BMO Financial Group since 1984. BMO Harris Bank has grown to become one of the largest banks in the Midwest, serving personal, commercial, and affluent customers. They are located at 610 West Northfield Drive in Brownsburg. For more information, call them at 852-2683.
Got to make a correction. I've been addressing the McCutcheon athletic team as the Broncos. I don't know why. They're the Mavericks, so that makes a lot more sense. Alliteration-wise, at least, M&M, as opposed to the McCutcheon Broncos. I don't know the difference between my wild horses, I suppose. But they are the McCutcheon Mavericks, and really a nice athletic program up there at McCutcheon. We've seen on the baseball side of things, Chris, McCutcheon just give Brownsburg fits over the years in some matchups and have some really good quality players come out. We're about ready for kickoff. McCutcheon will be kicking the ball from left to right. They're in the maroon helmets with the maroon numbers on white jerseys, the yellow pants with the maroon stripe, resembling the Minnesota Golden Gophers uniforms, if you will. The Brownsburg Bulldogs in the purple uniforms with the white pants, the purple helmets with the white dogs, and the kick goes deep right into the end zone. It will go out of the back of the south end zone, and the Bulldogs will take over at their own 20-yard line. Tonight's game also brought to you by Nelson Jewelers. Did you know Nelson Jewelers in Brownsburg has been serving Hendricks County and the west side of Indianapolis with an extensive selection of finer diamonds and gemstones since 1958. Nelson Jewelers is a family-owned jewelry store. You can reach them at www.nelsonjewelers.com. A little out of the way, very much out of the ordinary, 22 East Main Street in Brownsburg. Well, here come the Dogs right out of the huddle. Under center is the quarterback, Jacob Lambert, the senior. He's got one receiver to the far side. Comes up back out of the line. He's going to make an audible, maybe changing the play. In motion is number 21. The handoff goes to the right side. It's a number 44. And I'm going to struggle with that name all night.
Tokes Akinrabade.
Thank you very much.
There it is, and he carries the ball the first time.
I could get Tokes, but Akinrabade, I could not. So Tokes carries the ball out to the 31-yard line. That's a first down.
I'd just like to see him make some sort of highlight tonight and have
exactly.
to get on the news and see how they pronounce that.
Hopefully not as hip, but hopefully Calabro blows it like I did.
He showed his power there on a run up the middle, hesitated to let the blocks form in front of him.
Really
then
nice
took
run.
On.
Handoff goes back to Tokes again, and he gets it about to the 37-yard line. Second down coming up for the Bulldogs.
Coach told me they only had him run the ball twice in the scrimmage a week ago, and he was a little upset. He said, don't worry, you're going to be running the ball 25 times tonight.
Wanted to keep him fresh. It'll be 2nd and 4 from the 37-yard line for the Dogs. So they've shown that they're going to run the ball. Obviously, they're going to ground and pound a little bit. And that's what Coach Comer let you know at practice the other night, right, Chris?
Yes, definitely more of a run team. They can pass when needed.
Lambert under center, takes the snap, goes in the option to the right side. He'll keep it himself and dive out to close to the 40-yard line, about the 39.5. We'll see where they spot it. It's going to bring up third down, third and about maybe 2. We were going to say 3rd and 2. Going to put the ball at the 39.5 by almost the 40-yard line. They're going to call it the 40.
First third down situation of the year here, Troy. Let's see what they do.
So 3rd and 2 for the Dogs.
I say give it to Tokes.
Lambert brings the team up to the line. Tokes is in the backfield, one receiver to the far side. Man in motion, and Lambert's going to keep it, and he's going to make a nice run up the middle for the first down. right up to about the 45-yard line, 46-yard line. They're going to spot it right at the 45, and that's a first down for the Bulldogs.
Nice fake to the running back there, Lambert. He hesitated for a second, the quarterback did, and then dove up the middle. Got 4 or 5 yards, and we have a first down right at midfield.
So Brownsburg's shown that they're, like we said, as Coach Comer told us this week, a lot of running. A little ground and pound, setting up that pass now. Got a lot of confidence in Jacob Lambert and his strength. He is 6'2", 220, and a senior. Takes the snap, pitches it to the right side. Number 23, Tyler Welsh, and Welsh has ran out of bounds short of the line of scrimmage.
McCutcheon's defensive line features a huge nose tackle. Number 76, James Hopkins, 6'3". He's listed at 290, and he looks every bit of that.
6'3" and 290. He might have a future. What do you think?
Yes.
Can't teach size, so
You cannot.
any college coach say, hey, I'll take him. I'll take some raw talent if it's 6'3", 290, and I bet you he's pushing the scales at 3 from looking him up here at the
I agree with that 100%.
booth.
And Justin,
Second down
you like that size, especially at the nose tackle position.
Absolutely. Second down and 13. That was a loss of 3. And dropping back is Lambert. Gets away from one tackler. Now he's going to run towards the near side across midfield to 50. 45 down to the 40 and out of bounds at the 39-yard line of McCutcheon. That gets the crowd fired up, gets the Brownsburg sideline fired up. And Coach Comer's got to be happy so far, Justin and Chris, both of you, with how we're moving the football to start off the game.
Absolutely. I'll tell you, one of the hardest things to do as a quarterback is the triple option, because you have three things that you need to choose of which you need to do. You need to go off if you're going to have somebody come through the A gap right there. You got to either hand it off really quick or make that toss. So Lambert's got a lot to deal with, and he's doing pretty good so far.
We're going to call it 1st and 10 from the McCutcheon 39. 9 minutes and 39 seconds left to go in the first, no score. Taking the snap and handing off right up the middle. And there he goes, Tokes. He's at the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Brownsburg. Well, that didn't take long.
And just for those of you that are watching online, he did score. So they didn't really take into consideration the wide angle lens that we need to have for you to see that touchdown. Of course, the first touchdown at the new stadium, we can't even get on the video.
And in the cameraman's defense, he's fast. Tokes takes the handoff from Lambert and explodes through the left side of the line. I don't even know if somebody got a hand on his sock. He goes into the north end zone. And
showed power and speed there, Troy.
Both he did. And the Dogs will kick it up, and the kick is up, and it is good. Kick is good by number 47, Brandon Dowers, the 6', 190-pound senior. Who, Chris, as we look at the scoreboard and the Bulldogs lead this game now 7-0, Dowers is really going to be a focus of the offense and provides the Bulldogs with a lot more options to score this year than maybe they've ever had in the past.
Yes, he does. A senior kicker. He has a very strong leg. He's a threat to score from really any place inside the 50. Yesterday in the final practice, he was kicking some very long field goals. So we expect a lot of scoring out of the field goal kicker and the place kicker position this year. What a beautiful night here.
It is a beautiful night, and the crowd is into it already. The Bulldogs waste no time in scoring their first points of the year on their first drive, first possession of the year. Capped off by a long touchdown run by number 44. I'm going to try this again. Tokes Akinriabe. See,
give it to us, Justin.
Akinriabe.
It's going to have to Akinriabe. It's going to have to be phonetic. I'm going to have to spell it out phonetically for myself.
It's not French.
It is not French. Tokes, as we will call him, number 44, is a 6 sophomore, 195 pounds. Listed at the fullback position. He looked a lot more like an H-back there.
Nate Dino and Brent Hickle back for McCutcheon to receive this kickoff. And here's Mr. Dowers kicking it off.
9:32 left to go in the first. There's the kick is off. Go out of bounds at about the 30-yard line, and that'll bring a procedure call against the special teams for Brownsburg.
This game also brought to you by Hendricks County Estate Buyers. Running a little short on cash or got some collectible items around the house you don't need or want? Take them to Hendricks County Estate Buyers in Brownsburg. They buy gold, silver, coins, tools, electronics, and antiques. They specialize in one-piece or entire collections. If you have an estate or household liquidation, call them first. Ask for Justin at 317-286-3652, 7 days a week. They're on the corner of Main and Odell in Brownsburg. That's Hendricks County Estate Buyers.
Number 10, Jamie Fryer, the 5'7" junior for McCutcheon, is the quarterback. Drops the fumble, drops the snap, and it looks like the Dogs have it.
I think they do.
Fryer fumbled the snap, and the officials say it's Bulldog football. So on the first snap from scrimmage, the sophomore quarterback, varsity starting quarterback for McCutcheon, fumbles the snap. They had a bad exchange, and the Bulldogs will take over at about the 34-yard line of McCutcheon.
Number 91, Mac Dutra Jr. recovered that fumble along the defensive line.
The Dutras are still here.
They are. I was going to go out on a limb and assume they're related, but I think
I believe the
accurate.
Dutras are still here.
Yes, it's his younger brother.
So Atkins comes out under center. In motion is number 21, McCutcheon Devine. The handoff goes to Devine, and he's down across the right side, running to the far side of the field, down to about the 24-yard line. They're going to mark it actually at about the 21-yard line. So a big gain there and a first down for Brownsburg. So really right here, the Bulldogs, Justin, have got an opportunity to really stick a dagger in McCutcheon. In the first quarter, they can go up 14-0, and we're not even going to be 8 minutes into this game yet.
Especially with sophomore quarterback in McCutcheon. I guarantee it's his first varsity experience at this level. So he's got some nerves, and you wanted him to do. McCutcheon wanted to do pretty well at that first snap, but didn't work out that way.
Ran towards the right side, and the keeper is the quarterback Kevin Atkins. He runs it through the right side of the line. He's down to about the 10-yard line. And that's going to be another first down for Brownsburg.
On almost every play so far, we've seen that number 21, Devontae Allen, from the H-back slot, running around behind the quarterback. And the play before this, they pitched it to him, and he got a good gain. So in this flex-bone offense, that's a constant thread. Devontae Allen running behind the quarterback, and he can be used in a lot of different ways.
Bulldogs lining up. Atkins brings his team to the line on the near side. Lined up is McCutcheon Devine, as Chris said. In the backfield is number 44, as we call Tukes. And the handoff goes to Tukes. He goes around the right side of the line. He's brought down from behind. A nice tackle there by McCutcheon. So that's really the first time in the first two possessions or series in this game, after the first one driven for a touchdown and now after the kickoff, where McCutcheon's made a nice stop.
Back to Devontae Allen. Last year, that position was played by Chase Dutra. So, yeah. I mean, we know Devontae's going to be a special athlete, just like Chase was, to make those type of plays.
Nope. Lambert under center. Now he's going to pass. Throws across the middle. It's caught for a touchdown. Number 23, Tyler Welsh with the reception. And the Bulldogs lead it 13-0 at the 7:47 mark in the first quarter. That's a 10-yard touchdown pass from Lambert to Tyler Welsh. The senior hooking up with the other senior for the score. And on to kick now is the kicker, Brandon Dowers.
We saw some passing ability from the quarterback on that one. That was a nice throw in traffic right over the middle.
Here's the snap, the kick, and there's a whistle on the play. Somebody moved.
Guys, Justin's mentioned this about nerves. First game like this, you really expect a lot of penalties and mistakes. Guys are nervous. They're going to jump counts. They're going to jump the line of scrimmage. You usually see a lot of penalties. Been clean so far. I think this is the first flag thrown.
Well, besides the procedure penalty on the kickoff, yes, you're exactly right. But as far as as series of play head-to-head on the field, yes, it is the first flag. So the procedure call was...
It looked like offsides or encroachment.
Must have been, yeah, it was. They're going to go half the distance to the goal line, encroachment. So a shorter extra point now. Number 47, Brandon Dowers, the kicker. Here's the snap. The kick is up, and it is almost blocked, but the kick is up and good. Coming hard was number 44, Caleb Harper for McCutcheon.
I'd have to say if he got a little piece of that ball and that ball didn't go in, a yellow hanky would be coming out. Yeah. But I think the refs just kind of let it slide there. They didn't want to have to go to the 2-inch line.
Don't want to start off early.
Right.
Now's the time to choose Ivy Tech Community College. There's no more affordable option in the state of Indiana for your college education. You can earn an associate degree and start a career or transfer to a 4-year school and earn a bachelor's degree. A college education is more accessible now than ever before. You have choices. Make the Ivy Tech choice. Visit ivytech.edu or call 888-IVY-LINE, IVY line.
Well, Bulldogs lead this game 14-0, 7:47 left to go in the first quarter. They started off their opening possession of the game, opening possession of the season with a really nice drive, scoring a touchdown, a lot of run plays, only one pass play in the first series, and then followed up with immediately McCutcheon turns the ball over on their first possession. Brownsburg capitalizes on a 10-yard touchdown pass from Lambert to Tyler Welsh. So back to receive, I think, is number 23, Nate Dino for McCutcheon. The Bulldogs kicking right to left, and the kick is up, and it is a little short, kind of a pooch kick. It's fielded and dropped. The ball's live, and it is recovered by the Bulldogs. Right here on the near sideline. So after a brief discussion with the officials, they will confirm it. The Bulldogs have the football once again, and we are at the 7:44 mark in the first quarter. The Dogs lead at 14-0. McCutcheon's had one offensive possession.
They tried to do that the first time, and just Dowers, I think, just got a little too much hook on it the first time. That one that they had to, that's a hard ball to catch. You're running up, whoever was trying to come up that probably had a 15-yard sprint to come and run and get that ball, and the way the ball was bounced right out off his chest.
I think it was number 44, Caleb Harper, that was trying to make the kick on the squib. People running up the middle, cutting down to the right side is Tokes. He's going to be hard to bring down. They get him down about the 9-yard line. So a quick snap there by Lambert to Tokes. Tokes takes it across the right side, and he's down to about the 9-yard line. We'll call it the 9. It'll be first and goal for the Bulldogs.
And so far in this game, Brownsburg has been able to punch holes right up the middle. There's no need to go around the edge if you can run right up the middle for effective gains, and they're doing that on almost all the running plays.
Well, it's pretty apparent that right now at this stage in the game, McCutcheon does not have an answer for Brownsburg's running game.
Brownsburg punches it in this time, and it's going to be very disheartening for McCutcheon.
Pitch to the left side to number 33, Daniel Ferguson, and he is just short of the goal line. They're going to put him down at about the 1-yard line. So the Dogs will have the ball, third and goal.
McCutcheon's number 44, Caleb Harper, saved a touchdown there.
And it's going to be a procedure call as Brownsburg tried to hurry it up, most likely against the Dogs. False start on Brownsburg is the call from the official.
It does look like the home side grandstand almost full, but if you're listening, you're in the area, you still want to come out. Don't be scared off by the large crowd. There's plenty of seats on the visitor side. You can still get in and see this beautiful facility and the rest of the game here.
Number 21, Devontae Allen, the 6'1", 175 pounds junior running back, comes in, checks into the game. So wide out to the far side is Jalen Hall. Under center is the quarterback Jacob Lambert. And in motion, number 21, Devontae Allen takes a snap. The pitch goes to Tokes. He goes on the right side, touchdown. Akinurabade scores. And the Bulldogs lead it at the 6:35 mark in the first quarter, 20-0.
Wow, he has 2 rushing touchdowns here in the first quarter.
So 2 touchdowns by Tokes and a 10-yard touchdown reception by number 23, Tyler Welsh, thrown by the quarterback Jacob Lambert. And coming out for the 3rd time already in the first quarter is the kicker Brandon Dowers. And the kick is up, and the kick is good. So at the 6:35 mark in the first quarter, the Brownsburg Bulldogs in front of a packed house at CF Roark Stadium lead it 21-0.
What is a good neighbor? It's someone nearby who helps make your life a little easier. It's State Farm agent Pete Fay. He takes the time to understand your insurance and financial needs. So whether you're preparing for your child's college education or planning for your retirement, get the kind of help you'd expect from a good neighbor. Visit State Farm agent Pete Fay at 431 East Northfield, Suite 100 in Brownsburg. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Well, on the ensuing possession, and if McCutcheon can get the ball on offense here and avoid that turnover, we'll see how the junior quarterback Jamie Fryer does if he comes back out on the field, which I imagine he would. Justin talked about the fact, he's starting his first varsity game. It's a new facility here at Brownsburg, a big crowd, opening night, maybe a little bit of jitters as they fumbled their opening snap, and which Brownsburg recovered, which they turned into a touchdown, and then fumbling the ensuing kickoff. Brownsburg has had 3 offensive possessions in the first quarter, or 3 offensive series. McCutcheon's only had 1 offensive possession, which they fumbled over, which was recovered by the Bulldogs. So here we are. We're ready for the kickoff. 21-0, Brownsburg. 6:35 left to go in the first quarter. Back to receive, number 23, Nate Dino. And here is the kick. It is high and deep, and thought it was going to go out of the end zone. Now Dino makes the catch at the 5-yard line. He's hit immediately and dropped at the 9, or at the 14-yard line.
Looked like number 33, Daniel Ferguson, on that tackle. Great open field tackle at the 10-yard line, or the 13-yard line.
So Dino, the speedy kick returner for McCutcheon, is brought down with a nice tackle out there by number 33, Daniel Ferguson. 1st and 10 from the 13-yard line, their own 13, and under center again is the quarterback, Jamie Fryer. Fryer takes the snap, hands it off to the running back. It goes up the middle, and he's stopped almost immediately, maybe a gain of 1.
Brownsburg on that defense had 3 interior down linemen and a 4th lineman on the outside. The nose tackle right there stuffed that play. Number 79, Justin Lazaro, a senior, 5'6", 210 pounds. We'll try to look at the rest of the defensive line as we get a chance here.
They're going to call it a gain of 1, 2nd and 9 from the 15-yard line, their own 15. 6 minutes left to go here in the first quarter.
Left defensive tackle, he's recovered a fumble already. Matt Dutra, sophomore, number 91, 5'11", 220.
Fryer tries the screen pass over on the corner to no avail. The pass is incomplete. That'll bring up 3rd down. So 3rd and 9 from their own 15. McCutcheon just trying to get some positive yardage here, and
they need to keep their defense off the field already here in the first quarter.
5:49 left to go. Clock stops on the incompletion. 15 seconds left on the play clock. Fryer goes under center. He's got number 23, Nate Dino, in the backfield. Receivers, one receiver far, one receiver to the near side. Handoff goes to Dino, goes on the right side. Pounds his way forward. The ball's loose on the field, or they're going to call him down. So that's going to bring up 4th down and about 5 yards. We'll see where they spot the ball.
Left tackle, Mac Dutra, again led the charge on that defensive tackle. It was a gain tackle.
Dutra with the stop. That brings up 4th and 6.
The Bulldogs' right
from
tackle
the 18-yard line
is number 34, Nathan Ramsey, 6'2", 230-pound defensive lineman, a senior.
So 4th and 6, and the Mavericks will punt. Ball's spotted at the 18-yard line. The punter just inside the 5-yard line. Be kicking the ball away to Brownsburg, who leads this game 21-0. 5 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Here's the snap, and the kick is up. Short kick, right at about the 45-yard line. Bounces around, and the Mavericks will down it at the 46-yard line of Brownsburg. 47-yard line of the Bulldogs. So the Bulldogs will take over possession. They lead it 21-0. 4:53 left to go in the first quarter.
Westside Plumbing. When plumbing problems arise, do you want a plumbing company with an impressive truck or fancy jingles? Of course not. You want your problem solved quickly and at an affordable price. At Westside Plumbing, we understand you want a plumber who is honest, respectful, and knows how to fix the problem. Westside Plumbing provides fast, professional plumbing service 7 days a week. When you invite Westside Plumbing into your home, be assured they will be knowledgeable, timely, and will give your home the respect it deserves. Honesty, integrity, and respect. That's what you get when you call Westside Plumbing at 445-8399. That's 445-8399. Westside Plumbing, serving Brownsburg and all of Hendricks County.
I'd like to remind all of our listeners and viewers that tonight's game is also being simulcast on IndianaTalks.com as well as XRBRadio.com. We'd like to welcome everyone who has chosen to join us for this Class 6A football opening night between the Brownsburg Bulldogs and the McCutcheon Mavericks here at the brand newly renovated CF Roark Stadium, home of the Bulldogs in Brownsburg, Indiana, on the campus of Brownsburg High School. And like you said, Chris, a beautiful night for football. This community has really come out. And again, a testimony of how far this program's come in the last 5, 6, 7 years.
Absolutely. They deserve this type of facility, and it's a first-class facility now.
The Bulldogs will take over on offense. The ball's placed at their own 21-yard line, and taking the snap and going up the middle is Tokes. Gets away, and he's down to about the 35-yard line, so a nice gain by Akin.
Well,
I don't even know why I tried.
You know,
he's going to remain
wonder.
Tokes until halftime when I can figure this out, I guess.
Okay, I know he had the one long run. I would guess he'd be over 50 yards already. Maybe 60.
Lambert with a handoff. Tokes takes the ball down to the 35-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs.
We need to also
Why couldn't the Bulldogs have a running back with the last name of Smith or Jones or something like that?
Right. We need to give credit also to this offensive line. We'll take a look at their lineup here in just a second.
They have absolutely dominated the field as a rule so far. It looks like somebody on that line moved for the Dogs. Probably going to be a motion penalty against the Dogs. They'll march it back.
The center for the Bulldogs tonight is number 67, Dustin Dowers, 6'1", 255, a junior. Try to get you more here in just a second.
So there's a false start against Brownsburg. That'll set them back. Going to spot the ball at the 30.
Right guard, Evan Mallory, a 6'5", 295-pound sophomore.
Lambert brings the play to the huddle. And the Dogs come to the line. They lead at 21-0, 4:12, and the clock is running left here in the first quarter. Tokes in the backfield, wide to the left, number 21, Devontae Allen. Quarterback keeper goes to the right side, cuts back up the middle and fights his way forward, does Lambert, to about the 37-yard line. Lambert getting helped up by his teammates. Number 74, Justin Davis, helping the quarterback up. And again, Justin, the offensive line for the Bulldogs dominating this performance so far in the first quarter.
Absolutely. They definitely, in the trenches, they're pushing the Mavericks back in their heels every time. It seems like when the snap goes off, the Mavericks defensive line immediately in their heels, which is an absolute awful place to be when you're on a defensive line.
Wide to the right side is Jalen Hall. Under center is the quarterback, Jacob Lambert. Takes a snap, and he's going to throw downfield and caught! Nice catch on his knees by Tyler Welsh. And Tyler Welsh has a touchdown and 2 other receptions out of the backfield in the running back spot. Really nice catch. Lambert short-armed it just a little bit. Welch stopped in his tracks, reached down towards the turf and pulled it up and fell to the ground. A nice reception down to about the 40-yard line of McCutcheon. And another first down for Brownsburg.
For a running quarterback, he's had some success in limited throws here.
Am I correct in saying 2 for 2 with 1 touchdown?
I think that's exactly what his stats are. I think that's a 130-something quarterback rating.
I think that's a little even higher than that.
Yeah, maybe a 140. I don't know how it goes. I can't remember, but it's high.
They are going to add on a penalty to that, Troy, and move the ball further down the field to the 25.
So that puts Brownsburg at the 25-yard line of McCutcheon. 1st and 10, 3:18 left. The Dogs lead at 21-0. Under center is Jacob Lambert. Wide to the right side, number 14, Jalen Hall. The keeper, Lambert, takes it to the right side and gets down to about the 19-yard line. That'll make it second down and about 4.
3:05 left in the first quarter here. The left tackle on the offensive line right now is number 74, Justin Davis, 5'10", 210-pound senior.
They're going to call it 2nd and 5 from the 25-yard line. Brownsburg leads at 21-0, 2:50 left in the game. Left in the first quarter, excuse me. Lambert under center, wide to the near side, Michael Clare. Wide to the right side, Jalen Hall. Hand is up the middle to Tokes, and he gets the ball down to about the 12-yard line. Again, the offensive line for the Bulldogs really pushing the Mavericks around. Lots of holes up there for the running backs, H-backs to choose from.
The right tackle on that offensive line, number 50, Bryce Tolley, a 6'2", junior. Brownsburg threatening to score again here in the first quarter.
Lambert comes up to the line. To the near side now is Hall. In motion, number 21, Allen. Dropping back to pass is Lambert going to the corner and caught. Did he get past the pylon? They're going to say he's out of bounds at about the 1 foot line. The catch by Tyler Welsh. And I got to tell you, if we had replay, I'm betting that's a touchdown. As Welch extended his arms.
You know, if he was able to get that catch, and that orange pylon is not where it's supposed to be, most of the time that's going to result in
But it
6
results
points.
in first down and goal to goal from the goal line, and Lambert keeps it himself. Touchdown, Bulldogs. So right up the middle he goes, and just like that, it is 27-0 Brownsburg. 2 minutes and 8 seconds left to go in the first quarter.
You know, this kind of, believe it or not, this might kind of be like the third preseason games that are being played right now in the NFL. Might get Lambert and the starting crew might get about halfway through the third quarter. We'll see how the score goes, but by the looks of things here, that's all the starters really need to see tonight.
Well, the kick is up. It is good, as everything else has been the Bulldogs have done tonight, and they lead it 28-0.
Panuna's Pizza and Wings. Panuna Pizza and Wings in Brownsburg has something for everybody. Pizza with more toppings than you can count, including specialty pizzas, 5 different kinds of calzones, breadsticks, and cheese bread with 2 kinds of dipping sauce. All made in-house with Panoni's own hand-tossed dough. And don't forget Panoni's wings with 12 kinds of sauce. In the RB special and get 10% off of your order. Panoni's is open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Friday and Saturday open to 11 p.m. Dine in, carry out, or free delivery. Call 286-3500. Panoni's Pizza and Wings, 1447 East Main Street in Brownsburg.
Brandon is out. We're kicking off.
His legs will be tired here in the first quarter.
I believe will be the 4th time here. The Bulldogs lead at 28-0. And as we get ready for the kickoff, we've learned that the daughter of Coach Brett Comer, Kylie Comer?
Yes, Coach Comer's daughter.
Kylie Comer.
Kaylee Comer.
Kaylee, sorry.
Kaylee Comer.
Second name I've gotten wrong tonight. Kaylee Comer and friends are listening. A big hello to them. And her dad must be a pretty happy fella at this point in the evening. Kickoff is high and deep. Back to field, it is number 23. Nail runs it back to the near side. Breaks one tackle across the 30 and out of bounds at the 1-yard line. And that's the most offensive positive action the Mavericks of mine.
I believe Kaylee's down in Franklin College continuing her basketball career. And then also, I believe, if I'm correct in saying, I believe Mrs. Comer told me this earlier, Jamie Comer, the son of Brett, is starting his coaching career up at Western Boone tonight.
Weibo. I believe they're the Stars.
I think so.
We'll
Weibo Stars.
Handoff goes to the fullback across the left side of the line. That's number 40, Lane Beeler, 5'10", 220-pound junior.
Tackle there by linebacker Zach Carlson, 6'2", a 210-pound senior.
A gain of 7 yards, 2nd and 3. And that is the most positive yardage that the Mavericks have had all night, to carry for 7 yards across the left side of the line. Junior quarterback Jamie Fryer up to the line. Calling out the signals, takes the snap. Handoff goes to the fullback on the left side, or the running back on the left side. He's gang tackled, still not down, and gets nowhere as the Brownsburg defense swarms over.
Now, I'll tell you one thing, noticing from up here, I mean, as a 6A school, you think you're going to have some pretty large, stout men on the front line. Looks like Brownsburg doesn't really have that. They don't have that large, stout guys, so they're making what they do have, and that's definitely speed. You see 11 guys on the ball every single play.
They are swarming. McCutcheon in the I formation. The fullback's number 40, Lane Beeler. The running back is number 30. That handoff went to the fullback, Beeler.
Number 2, Zach Carlson, again, led that tackling crew. Justin, I did talk with our coach, mentioned that to me in an interview last night about the size factor, and he says Brownsburg usually is not very big, but he is excited about their freshman class. It includes 67 players, and he says there is size in that. So the size and power will be increasing as we go into next year.
That's the first down of the night. It comes with 25 seconds left to go in the first quarter, and the Mavericks trailing 28-0. Fryer takes the snap. Handoff goes to number 38, Blake Elming. Makes a nice run for another Mavericks first down.
Defensive back number 25, Michael McCoy, on the trip up there.
There's
a very positive gain for McCutcheon.
He is going to be short of the first down. They're going to call it 2nd and 2, and that is the end of the first quarter. So I'd like to thank everybody for joining us tonight for this Crossroads Conference 6A IHSAA football matchup between the Brownsburg Bulldogs and McCutcheon Mavericks, and remind everybody that our tonight's game is being simulcast on IndianaTalks.com as well as XRBRadio.com. And we welcome all of our listeners who are listening to us, whatever the media may be. And it is time for Brownsburg Varsity Football. This is powered by IO Sports Online. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by XRBRadio.com, the Hendricks County Flyer, and McDonald's. This game's sponsors include Bill Estes Ford, Brownsburg, BMO Harris Bank, County Estate Buyers, Ivy Tech, Nelson Jewelers, Pete Fay, your State Farm agent, Westside Plumbing, and Panuni's Pizza and Wings.
Also, the McDonald's Hendricks County spin to XRBRadio.com every Friday at 5:30 p.m. for the McDonald's Hendricks County Sports Show. Join Brian Scott for a full hour as he interviews coaches and student athletes from Brownsburg and Avon High Schools. You can also watch the taping in person at a McDonald's near you every Wednesday night. Check out the McDonald's Hendricks County Coaches Show broadcast page on xrbradio.com or audiosportsonline.com for store locations. So here we go. McCutcheon has the ball at the 48-yard line in a 2nd and short situation. Open run up the middle. They will get that first down.
Well, now McCutcheon's shown, obviously, they're going to run the football as well, and maybe a little pep talk there in the on the sidelines as they've started to move the football on the ground, and that's the second first down of the game for McCutcheon.
Troy again, Zach Carlson on that tackle. He's proven a factor on that defense. He is calling the defensive signals for the Brownsburg, I guess, as a defensive captain, but he is doing a good job so far. But McCutcheon moving the ball a little bit here.
Number 40, Lane Beeler, is the fullback. Number 38, Blake Elming, is the running back. Under center is a sophomore quarterback, number 10, Jamie Fryer, or the junior quarterback, Jamie Fryer. Takes the snap, and somebody moved.
I believe we have a delay of game here.
Is delay a game.
Nah. Usually when that back judge throws that flag, it's not something happening on the line there.
Play clock did expire, and that will march McCutcheon back an additional 5 yards. The ball moved back to their own 47-yard line. First down and 15 for the Mavericks. They trail 28-0. 11:28 left to go in the second quarter and the first half. Jamie Fryer under center, goes to the right side. The handoff is to number 38, Blake Elming. Breaks a tackle on the right side. He's down to the Brownsburg 40-yard line and pushed forward to about the 37. And a nice run on the right side. And the Mavericks may be getting their act together a little bit on offense at this point.
Avery Holmes and, again, Zach Carlson brought him down from behind on that tackle, but a second short here.
Second down and 1 for McCutcheon. 10:58 left to go in the second quarter. They trail 28-0. Adkins under center. I'm sorry, not Adkins. Number 10, Jamie Fryer, the quarterback. The handoff goes up the middle to the fullback, number 40, Lane Beeler, and he's held at about the line of scrimmage. It's going to be real close. And they're going to give him the first down. So they give him the 1 yard on 2nd and 1. Another first down for the Mavericks. The ball at the 30-yard line, about the 30-and-a-half line, almost the 31 of the Bulldogs. This is the first significant drive of the game by McCutcheon. Fryer under center. Takes the snap. Drops back to pass, and he's brought down and sacked.
Guess who? Mac Dutra.
Number 91, Garrett Burge in there on the, I'm sorry, number 91, wrong guy, Mac Dutra again in there on the tackle. And that's the first sack of the game by the Brownsburg defense.
And he was
that
pumping
being
up
said, McCutcheon hasn't had the ball that much.
Right. Mac was pumping up the crowd when he came off the field. He's having a good first half there at right defensive tackle.
So a loss of 6 on the play. The ball at the Brownsburg 41, 2nd and 16.
I think it's
Fryer
really
under center. Handoff goes to Elming. Elming up the middle. He's hit hard after he breaks the line of scrimmage. That hit by number 2, Zach Carlson, the linebacker. 6'2", 210 pounds. He's a senior.
Johnny Dotlich also in on that hit. I think it's important for the McCutcheon side to get something out of this drive.
I agree with you, Chris and Justin. We're almost at the point where McCutcheon, they got to get a touchdown here. A 15-yard field goal is just not going to cut it.
Yeah, I don't think that they have. I don't think they have their own version of Brandon Dowers that they can just sit there and rely and go to 4th down right here and settle for a field goal. It'd be an awful long boot.
Fryer under center. The lone back is the fullback Beeler. Fryer dropping back to pass, looking, being chased down, flushed down. Pocket, the ball's on the turf. Picked up by number 24 down the right sideline. That's Johnny Dotlich, and he is gone. Touchdown, Bulldogs.
Scooped up that fumble, ran all the way. What was that, about a 65-yard fumble recovery?
How about that? And just as we start to talk about McCutcheon putting together an offensive drive, starting to control a little bit of the line of scrimmage on offense and being able to move the ball, the quarterback, Fryer, gets flushed out of the pocket. He's brought down from behind. And number 24, Johnny Dotlich, the 6'1", 195-pound linebacker, he's a senior, runs one back for a touchdown, advancing the fumbled football here on opening night. And just like that.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man, he has a breakaway speed there.
Yeah.
He broke away from the quarterback and a couple of the other players on the Mavericks.
Well, I was going to say, Chris and Justin, just like that, it was 28-0. Well, just like that, it's 35-0. And the Bulldogs are absolutely dominating this game right now. And maybe your third preseason NFL game analogy, Hobbs, is more accurate than ever.
Yeah, it might not. They might not even make it to the third quarter tonight, but we'll see. I still think that Coach wants to work out a lot of other things to see what his team can do. But the main thing from here on out, the way the defense is playing and the offense is playing for the Bulldogs, the key thing right now is we don't want to get anybody hurt.
Yeah.
Don't want injuries, something to happen, and then you waste it on their first game of the season when it's a complete blowout even before halfway through the second quarter.
Well, what do you think as you look ahead at this schedule, Chris and Justin, to both of you? Next week we're here against the Millers from Noblesville, away game at Hamilton, Southeastern, Westfield, Avon, Lafayette, Jeff. Harrison, Zionsville, and close out the season against Fishers. What do you expect out of this Brownsburg team? Is this a team that can do what they did last year? Obviously, a very impressive performance so far tonight. Can they do what they did last year and finish 9-0 here and then take this thing into the sectionals and try not to lay that egg in the first game?
I'll tell you, it's going to be tough because, I mean, Hamilton Southeastern and Fishers, they're going to put up some pretty quality clubs as they do every year. I think Fishers is one of those teams that they have kind of been looking at that can possibly take a state title this year. As far as next week's concerned, Noblesville, I think it's I think it's a very, very winnable game for the Dogs. From what I've heard, as long as they play their game and stick to no penalties and no turnovers, and should be a pretty easy victory again next week for the Dogs.
Well, I got to tell you, very impressive tonight, and it's got to be a real deflating thing for McCutcheon, Chris, to being able to move that ball. They're already down 28-0, and in the blink of an eye, they're down 35-0.
Yeah, that was important there. That was a heartbreaker. There was a penalty assessed, a holding penalty against McCutcheon, so from the other side of the 50, Dowers is kicking this off. This may go over the far bleachers.
And he kicks it out of the park. So over the south fence, out of the south end zone is the kick, and that will put McCutcheon at their own 20.
You know, you guys were talking about the Hoosier Crossroads Conference. There is other action tonight. Avon is at Hamilton Southeastern. Fishers at Noblesville. Harrison, West Lafayette, is at Westfield tonight. Lafayette Jeff at Zionsville, and then, of course, our own Brownsburg Bulldogs home to McCutcheon.
McCutcheon takes over, 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Under center is the quarterback, Jamie Fryer. In the backfield, number 23, Nate Dino, who we've only seen really receiving kicks, and the handoff goes to Dino on the right side, makes it around the right end. He's across the 20 or the 30 for a first down and brought down at about the 35-yard line. So a 15-yard gain on the ground by number 23, Nate Dino.
Nice run off the right side for a change. They were able to block the Brownsburg defensive front.
Almost exclusively, we've seen the fullback Lane Beeler and the running back Blake Elming. Beeler actually a running back listed also, but playing the fullback position in the backfield. Now McCutcheon going to switch it up again. They bring in number 23, Nate Dino, and he makes a nice run on the first possession.
Here's a random score for you this evening. Carmel right now is losing to Tech 2-0.
Must be early, but wow.
Midway through the second quarter.
Handoff goes to Dino again, and he makes his way up the left side of the line, and he's almost down to the 40-yard line. That's a gain of about 4 or 5 yards, depending on the spot.
Justin, can you get us an update on the Ben Davis game? I think they're playing at the stadium tonight, Lucas Oil Stadium.
Gain of 4 they're going to stay on the play. That makes it 2nd and...
About 6.
Really 2nd and 6. The board says 2nd and 7. They're going to call it 2nd and 6 from the 37-yard line. 8:11 left to go in the half. Mavericks trail 35-0. And Dino cuts around the right sides across midfield and down to the 40-yard line. And if the Mavericks can hold on to the ball, they may have found a solution at running back here.
That was a nice run around the right side. Again, got some good blocking. You know, with this big lead, I've noticed already Brownsburg shuffling a few players in and out on defense. Number 78, Brandon Weber, was in there on right tackle, 5'8", 230-pound junior. So when you have a big lead like this, of course, you can keep everybody fresh. And in this first game, you want to test everybody you can. So they're running some different guys in and out of the lineup.
And the point Justin made earlier is, at this point, up 35-0 in the first half, you don't want to get anybody hurt when you don't have to. Try and get some guys some playing time. Mavericks bring the ball up to the line of scrimmage at about the 40. Fryer takes the snap, hands the ball off to Dino. He's around the near side, cuts the back, reverses fields, and up the middle, and he's across to the 30-yard line and brought down there, and that's about a gain of 9 for the Mavericks.
Tackle by Brad Gollinger, number 9, and also Brandon Weber. Boy, that was a shifty run. He started to the left side, made a 180 turn, went back through the line of scrimmage, and found a good gain up the middle.
It was very Eric Dickerson-ish of him to
there
do
we
that.
Go. Okay, all right. Troy.
Came near side, turned around, and finessed it back up the middle. So we hadn't seen Dino at running back until this series, and he's done very well. He's had 2 very significant runs and has probably gained. He's probably close to 30 yards on this possession.
Yes.
This series alone. That passes out to the right side. The number 10, cutting across and around the far side and down to about the 15-yard line is Blake Elming, who we had seen at running back. Elming makes the reception, and he's down to about the 16-yard line.
Tackle by
Another
number 25.
first down.
25, Mike McCoy there, got him out of bounds after a good gain.
Yeah, that's another first down for McCutcheon.
Threatening to score.
Dino is the lone back. Under center is Fryer. Takes the snap. Handoff goes to Dino. Cut back. He's hit hard, but gets away from the tackle. He was going to be brought down for a loss in the backfield by Zach Carlson. He got away from it. And there's a flag on the play. We'll see what it is. Maybe holding, as the officials are conferencing at the 15-yard line. We'll wait on the call.
Justin working hard to get you folks some scores here. We'll update you in a minute.
Carlson taking some defensive signals from the sideline. It's going to be holding against McCutcheon. And so we had a holding against Brownsburg, so those penalties will offset, which will leave us at 1st and 10 from the 15.
You know, if McCutcheon could get in the end zone or make a score here for the first half, that would help.
Makes it a little more interesting, doesn't it?
Help their mental state just a little bit. They definitely need to score on this drive.
The ball had been placed at the 15-yard line. Now the officials make the adjustment, put it back a yard. First down and 10 from the Brownsburg 16. McCutcheon comes to the line. Fryer under center. Handoff goes to Dino up the middle. Breaks one tackle and falls forward. Nice hustle. Keeps those legs moving. Nate Dino, number 23, the 6 foot, 175-pound wide receiver and defensive back. He's listed, and he is a senior, but he's been the exclusive running back on this series of downs by the Mavericks.
Number 5, Stone Neese there, and multiple others on the stop.
Wide out to the near side is R.J. Blair, the wide receiver. Wide out to the far side is the running back Blake Elming. Under center, the quarterback Jamie Fryer, as the Mavericks will line up in the I. Or not with the I. Lone back is Lane Beeler. Fryer takes the snap, hands it off to Beeler. Fights his way down to about the 10-yard line. Might bring up about 3rd and 4.
You know, if you're punching here, you want to punch it in the end zone. The field goal will not help here. So I imagine we're in 4-down territory for them.
They're going to call it a gain of 1. 3rd and 5 from the 10. 5:35 left to go. Clock running in the half. Bulldogs lead at 35-0. Fryer takes a snap, gives the ball to Dino on the right side, cuts back up the middle, gets down to about the 6 where he's brought down. And he's going to be real close to that first down.
Zach Carlson again in on the tackle.
Mavericks okay with letting the clock run, and they're going to call this 4th and really short in a big defensive stop anticipated here by the Brownsburg faithful. 4th down and 1. Ball's on the 6-yard line. 5 minutes left to go in the first half. Bulldogs lead at 35-0.
They have a fullback check in there for blocking right in front of the halfback, Troy.
The handoff goes to Dino, and he's across for the first down. So number 23, Nate Dino, almost the exclusive running back with the exception of a couple plays on this series of downs by the Mavericks. And now with 4:47 left to go in the first half, looks like both of these teams have calmed down a little bit, Justin.
Yeah, it looks like Coach is getting ready. Coach Comer here is going to take a timeout, probably talk over some things with his defense. Definitely probably need to get a little heavier up front. Kind of take some of the smaller guys out, maybe put a little heavier 7 up front. I've been actually thoroughly surprised for the Mavericks here, kind of running the ball against the Dogs during this drive. But what's happened the past 2, maybe 3 drives for the Mavericks, turnovers has cost them. So we'll see if they can keep the jitters down and just do what they have been doing on this drive, see if they can get in the end zone. But hopefully the Dogs can make a stop here.
Timeout on the field. 4:41 left to go in the half. Bulldogs lead at 35-0.
This Saturday, August 24th, come celebrate the grand reopening of the McDonald's off Raceway Road in Avon, located at 10747 East US 36, right in front of Meijer. There will be huge giveaways, including hundreds of coupons for both free Egg McMuffins and free Big Macs for a year. They will also have 49-cent ice cream cones all day long and be giving away a $1,000 scholarship. Plus, don't miss Ronald McDonald himself at 1:30. So come on out Saturday, August 24th, to celebrate the grand reopening of the McDonald's in front of Meijer off Raceway Road in Avon.
So the handoff on the first down after they got the first down on 4th and 1, the handoff goes to Dino again across the left side. He gets about a yard. That brings up 2nd and goal from the 9-yard line. 4:15 left to go. Clock running in the first quarter.
Good defense there by the Dogs. Number 5, Stone Neese, led several tacklers in stopping that up-the-middle play.
Jamie Fryer, quarterback, brings in the call from the McCutcheon sideline. Handoff goes to the right side to Blake Elming. He breaks one tackle and gets caught up for a short gain on the right side.
Michael McCoy got good penetration there into the backfield and stopped that play all around the right side. Bring up a 3rd down here.
It's going to be 3rd down and goal from about the 8. 35-0, 3:33 left to go, clock running in the first half. The Bulldogs lead the Mavericks. Fryer under center, takes the snap, gives it off to the right side, and brought down short of the goal line at about the 1-yard line is Nate Dino again.
Nice running play there by McCutcheon. Almost got in, down to the 2-yard line, and they must get a touchdown on this play.
That's going to bring up 4th down and goal from the 2. 2:53 left to go. Clock running in the first half. 4th down and goal. Fryer brings the calls to the line. The lone running back is number 23, Nate Dino. Here's the snap. Handoff goes Dino. Cuts to the right side. Cuts in. Touchdown, Mavericks. Just like you said, Worley, that's what they had to have right there. It's 4th down. They got to get a conversion. What I think about when I see this game is the sectional game 2 years ago, Ben Davis and Brownsburg. And in the beginning of the game, the whole first half was absolutely dominated by the Giants. And we kept talking, or dominated by Brownsburg, and we kept talking about the Giants' ability with speed and so forth to be able to come back. Some things went Ben Davis's way. Brownsburg ends up losing, trying to convert a touchdown on the last play of the game. They come up short. So McCutcheon has the ability. They got a fastback in Dino, but they just got to keep the ball out of Brownsburg's hands, and they got to play defense.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I don't know if those of you that are watching on the internet can see, but Stone Neese came across really hard, but frankly, he was just picked up just a little bit by they must have had a pulling guard that came across. Otherwise, I thought he was going to blow up the play and make the stop there, but ultimately the left guard pulling got his body in front of Stone and led the running back into the end zone.
Motion 360 by Hendricks Regional Health provides care for the way you were meant to move. We care for every muscle, bone, and joint in your body to get you back to the activities you love. Get more information online at mymotion360.org. Hendricks Regional Health.
Bulldogs are set to receive the kickoff. 2:38 left to go in the first half, 35-7. The Bulldogs lead McCutcheon. Opening night, Class 6A football in the IHSAA from CF Roark Stadium, the home of the Bulldogs here in Brownsburg. And the kick by McCutcheon is up, and it is
going to get re-kicked.
Received but met with a penalty. So a procedure call against McCutcheon, I would assume.
I think it's that side judge over there just reminding us that he is out there as well.
He is watching. He is watching. So that will move the kickoff back to the 35-yard line of McCutcheon.
We should mention the McCutcheon coach, Ken Fraheiger. He's been at the school for, I think 7 years, maybe just 1 year shorter than Coach Comer of Brownsburg, but he has experience.
So the kickoff, the re-kick is up, and it is back and fielded on the near side by number 21, Devontae Allen, who breaks a couple of tackles and does a nice job of holding on to the football as he's slung to the ground at the 32-yard line.
You know, it's easy to see up here talking about this turf field. When a tackle is made or a ball hits the field hard, you see those rubber pellets, bounce up, Justin, that help make this field springy, easy to land on, and you can see the black pellets flip up like you've seen in college and the pros.
Absolutely.
You got to think the surface does make a difference.
One of the biggest differences is lack of injuries.
Yeah. Handoff goes to Akin Rabati on the right side for a gain of a few.
I think another thing we like as a broadcast crew is none of the lines can get wiped out. You see the line markers and the yard markers very clearly here.
Akin Rabati across the right side for a gain of 3. 2nd down and 7 now from the 36-yard line. from their own 36. 35-7, 2 minutes and 5 seconds left to go in the half. Brownsburg with the football, and they lead it 35-7. Takes the snap. Ball's on the turf, recovered by the Mavericks. McCutcheon football, and that's not how you keep a 35-7 lead.
No, and that's one of those things that I was talking about, that triple option. It's hard. If you have a very, very strong, aggressive nose tackle on the other team that really shoots that A-gap on the side that you're going to go, it's going to bust up the play. And if you have the football out there and the first thing you wanted to do is hand it off to that fullback rushing up the middle, that ball's going to pop out just like it did there.
Lambert took the snap, went to the left side, kind of ran into one of the offensive linemen. The ball hits the turf and recovered immediately by McCutcheon. They have the ball, 1:54 left on the Brownsburg 34. Fryer takes the snap, and the pitch goes to the left side to Blake Elming, and he's down to about maybe a gain of 2. And I got to tell you, I don't know why they're not handing the ball off to Nate Dino again, the guy that just ran all over the place on the last series of possessions.
You know, we didn't see it in the first quarter. Starting to see a little bit of it now. Their offensive line has some good size. Left tackle number 70, Russell Burning, 6'4", 290. Also on the left side, number 74, Kyle McGee, 6'1", 260. And they're kind of big across the front. There are some teams this season that they may wear down as the game goes on.
The aforementioned Dino's wide to the right. Back goes Fryer. He's going to throw it to Dino, who makes the catch at about the 26-yard line. Short of the first down, that's going to bring up 3rd and short, and a timeout taken by McCutcheon.
They will have 2 timeouts left, the Bulldogs 3 here in the half with 1:10 left to go.
You know, it's kind of like, kind of like in basketball. You're going to have, football, you're going to have that one guy that you're going to have to stop. It's going to be that playmaker. So you got to always know exactly where he is every single play. And that's one thing I think that Coach Comer does realize, and is probably going to try to emphasize to his defense, that we need to know exactly where he is every play, because probably 90% of the time the ball is going to go his way.
Well, the other thing that Coach Comer and his staff have to do at halftime is really stress this game is not over. You know, we've had a turnover. We made a mental error right there in the triple option that you talked about. And that this game is not over, especially if McCutcheon can punch this thing in the end zone. All of a sudden, it's 35-17. McCutcheon scored on back-to-back possessions. The Bulldogs have turned the ball over. Really important that they keep their focus, even with the big lead.
Yeah, there's no reason to sit here and play a safe game from here on out. You still want to play with the same intensity, maybe all the same starters and everything, but still want to play with the same intensity and same goal is to still run your offense and play strong on your defense.
Fryer under center. The aforementioned Dino is wide out to the far side. Fryer takes the snap, looking to pass over the middle, and nice catch at the 20-yard line by number 87, Grant Dempster, the tight end, 6'3", 225, a sophomore.
Boy, that was a great catch in heavy traffic right over the middle. He had 2 defensive players for Brownsburg hanging right on him, was able to come down with a high throw.
Now, Fryer threw the ball into double coverage, and like you said, a really nice catch there to haul it in at the 20-yard line. Brings up 1st and 10, under a minute. 35-7, the Mavericks hustle to the line. Fryer takes the snap. Back to pass, throwing across the middle, and caught at the 10-yard line by number 26, R.J. Blair, the wide receiver, 5'10", 180 pounds. He's a senior.
Fryer getting a little confidence here now. He's having some success, making some good throws, and his receivers are holding on and catching the ball.
37 seconds left. McCutcheon takes the timeout. So it's going to be 2nd and 1 from the 11. 37 seconds left to go in the second quarter and the first half.
You got to think the ball's going to go in the air. Probably most of probably the rest of the plays here for McCutcheon. They do have 1 timeout to spare. I would think they might save that just in case they want to settle for a field goal, if that's the case. But the way they're moving the ball right now through the air against the Dogs, I don't think they're going to have to use that final timeout.
Well, they've got some options here. They can make a short run, get the first down, give them 4 downs, and use that timeout to stop the clock. Make 4 shots at the end zone with 33 seconds left to go. What do you think about that?
Because am I correct? All the different rules, college, high school, and NFL, if they do get a first down here, even by running it, the clock does stop until the next play starts, correct?
I believe you are correct, yes. I think we saw that on the last first down they had. There was a stoppage, no timeout was called, and then the referee cycled the clock. Well, here we go, 37 seconds left. Fryer in the shotgun. Dino is far to the right side, on the far side of the field. Here's the snap, dropping back to pass again. Down over to the left side, a nice catch down to the 5-yard line, and that's going to be a first down, which is going to bring up first and goal with 32 seconds left for the Mavericks. The catch was by number 32, Hamid Muhammad.
Clock rolling. Snap made.
Instead of calling the timeout, they kill the clock. Fryer spikes it in the turf. That'll bring up second down and goal to goal from the 4. 27 seconds left.
So I guess the ruling here is that the clock starts when the chains are set. Actually, not when the ball snapped after the first down.
So it's very similar to the college rule.
Yep.
Once they're throughout the game.
Absolutely.
Yeah, with the first down. Fryer in the shotgun again. Dino's far to the right side. To the near side, number 26, R.J. Blair. Takes the snap. Looks to throw. He's going to run the football up the middle. Goes to the left side. A nice stop. Tackled from behind. He's brought down at about the 2-yard line.
Number 34, Nathan Ramsey on the tackle.
And the last timeout used by the Mavericks. So the Mavericks have got enough time for 2 shots. They've got a third down and a fourth down possession here. They're definitely, I think, in fourth down territory. They're not thinking about a field goal.
Yeah, everything here is probably going to be very quick because McCutcheon definitely doesn't want to take a sack here. So you're looking to probably, if he's in the shotgun position, maybe just a one drop step, like a slant pattern maybe across the middle or a fade pattern in the corner of the end zone. But if he is under center, a quick 3-step drop slant pattern is probably what's going to be thrown here just to solidify whether if they're either going to score or it's going to be an incomplete pass and the clock will stop again.
Everything, even though it's probably obvious that they're at the 1-yard line, that everything goes in the end zone. Nothing's going to be thrown in the flat out to the right side for a screen. Everything goes in the end zone.
I think a key will be where Dino lines up here. Let's watch him.
So going out wide to the right side now is R.J. Blair. Nate Dino is the wideout on the near side. In the backfield, it's the fullback running back set. Fryer takes a snap, handoff, and a touchdown for the Mavericks.
Nice play.
Going over the piles, number 38, Blake Elming, and he scores. And that's got to be a lot of motivation for the Mavericks going into halftime.
Absolutely.
Quarterback Fryer ran off the field there. I think that was a good decoy, putting Dino way out, splitting him to the left side there.
Well, he's somebody like Justin said that you got to watch. You got to know where he's at all the time. You get focused on him. You hand the ball off to the guy who really had been playing running the running back position throughout. The score was by Blake Elming, the running back. Elming goes in for the touchdown. The kick is up, and the kick is good. And McCutcheon has scored the last 2 touchdowns, and 15 seconds left to go in the half. Brownsburg leads it 35-14. Well, we've seen a lot of action. This game has not been without its excitement. It's an opportunity for both teams to showcase some performance, score some points, and gather up some statistics. And we don't have the final stats for the first half yet, but they've got to be pretty impressive, especially for the Bulldogs on offense.
Absolutely. You got to think here that it's probably going to be a very simple squib kick. Just right down the center. Nothing's going to be really returnable for the dogs to return. And it'll probably be a 1-down kneel. I don't think the dogs are going to do any Hail Mary pass like that. This game in the short time and just in the first half has had 35 points scored by the Dogs, 14 points scored by McCutcheon. It's had a fumbled kickoff. It's had a fumbled snap, 2 fumbled snaps. Yeah. It's had a fumble returned for a touchdown.
Wow.
I
mean, we've had just about everything.
I think the focus for both coaches actually at halftime is going to be a little bit about defense because both offensives have done pretty well.
And kind of interesting that they choose to kick the ball up in the air and let the Bulldogs receive it. The ball is fielded by number 36, Sam Hoffa, 5'11", 180 pounds fullback slash linebacker. He's a sophomore. The ball is returned to about the 31-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. 12 seconds left, and I would expect fully for Jacob Lambert to take a knee here and take this thing to halftime, up 35-14.
Yes, no reason to take a big chance here. Let's get off the field with that good lead for the Bulldogs. And they are in that formation, Troy.
And they are lined up in that victory formation.
Lambert takes a snap and takes a knee, and that will do it as time runs off the clock in the first half. Well, no lack of words for us in the first half for the entire broadcast team. A lot of action. And as the band marches on the field, the Brownsburg marching band marches on the field from the north end zone. After the first half of completion, or the first half is complete, the Bulldogs lead this game 35-14. We'd like to thank all of our sponsors for sponsoring tonight's action. Remind everybody that tonight's game is also being simulcast on IndianaTalks.com as well as XRBRadio.com, and welcome everybody that's listening to the game. Tonight's game brought to you by XRBRadio.com, the Hendricks County Flyer and McDonald's. This game's sponsors include Bill Estes Ford, Brownsburg BMO Harris Bank, Hendricks County Estate Buyers, Ivy Tech, Nelson's Jewelers, Pete Fay, your State Farm agent, Westside Plumbing, and Panuna's Pizza and Wings.
We also want to thank our friends at the Hendricks County Flyer that have helped make tonight's video webcast possible. Please check them out online as well as watch tonight's game at flyergroup.com. This game is being simulcast on IndianaTalks.com as well as XRBRadio.com. Of course, we also want to thank, and we see Bill Estes Ford, BillEstes.com field here. Bill Estes Ford. At Bill Estes Ford, our number one goal is to save you time. Whether you're dealing with our service department, parts department, our new and pre-owned sales, our goal is to make sure you are a satisfied customer, and that it's easy process. Don't forget, you can have a complete oil change for just $19.95. Check them out online at BillEstesFord.com. Bill Estes Ford, soon to have a new look at 450 East Northfield Drive in Brownsburg. Call today at 852-2231.
The Brownsburg Bulldogs and Brownsburg High School Athletics Department would like to remind everybody that what you are seeing tonight here at CF Roark Stadium is the culmination of a total team effort. BillEstes.com field, many community partners have come together to complete this new facility for the students and families and the people of Brownsburg. Bill Estes Ford in Brownsburg and Bill Estes Chevrolet at 96 and Michigan Road contributed the funds necessary to complete the BillEstes.com field. Indiana University Health Athletic Complex is where BillEstes.com field is located. Indiana University Health now partners with Brownsburg High School to provide athletic training services to our student athletes. In addition, the new press box, along with a portion of the bleachers, were funded through the generosity of Indiana University Health. CF Roark Stadium. It's not your mom's or your dad's CF Roark Stadium, is it, Chris?
Beautiful, Troy.
The CF Roark family has supported Brownsburg schools since the initial season at Roark Stadium in 1966. When renovations to the stadium were discussed, the Roark family came forward to support an upgraded scoreboard that would match this new facility. And we thank them for backing the Bulldogs for so many years. This multi-use facility, additional money, like I said, contributed through what is really a public and private partnership to come up with this fantastic facility here in Brownsburg.
The sound of Brownsburg Band takes the field. That's always a spectacle here in town. They've had a good band for a number of years, although they usually don't do too well in band competitions. That's an editorial comment on my part. But, boy, what a beautiful night for football. You could not get better weather here in the home opener. We know it's going to get cool and some tough weather later on, but that's another thing about this great field. Built for all weather conditions. A coach told me in an interview yesterday that at one point there at practice, they practiced in a complete downpour, and he stopped practice and asked his defensive line, what do you notice about a difference in footing? The players all said nothing. Feels the same as if it was dry. So this outstanding field turf will be a big help to the team this year.
Well, one of the things that also about this field turf is that it's about conditions and it's about safety too. And I think that you're going to see but those conditions go hand in hand with that. Playing on a really sled. I know that's football, and I know people like the dirty jerseys and stuff like that, but it's really going to be good for our high school athletes here in Brownsburg and really anywhere that this field turf is installed, which has really become the thing to do now. I think that you'll find that in almost most of the facilities where you play in the Hoosier Crossroads Conference now are going to have a field turf.
Yes, that's right.
And with that, we will let you listen to the sound of Brownsburg, the Brownsburg High School Marching Band.
Someone in the horn section really fumbled that note. You know, I think it was number 66, Kelsey Go. If she's not careful, she's going to get cut for next year's team.
The marching fans at the time who, for the most part, stayed in their seats here on the home grandstand to see the spectacle of high school band, the sound of Brownsburg. Leave the field now with the Bulldogs holding a 35-14 lead. McCutcheon got on the board and got some scoring late in the half there. BMO Harris, established in 1882 as Harris Bank and owned by BMO Financial Group since 1984, BMO Harris Bank has grown to become one of the largest banks in the Midwest, serving personal, commercial, and affluent customers. They are located at 610 West Northfield Drive in Brownsburg. For more information, call them at 852-2683. We know, probably listening in with our broadcast live over at Panuni's Pizza and Wings in Brownsburg, they have everybody, and you don't even have to leave home. Call 286-3500 for free delivery to Pittsboro, Claremont, North Avon, and all of Brownsburg. Specialty pizza, calzones, breadsticks, and cheese bread, all made in-house with Panuni's own hand-tossed dough, not to mention Panuni's jumbo wings. Tell them you heard from XRB and get 10% off your order. Check out their Facebook page for specials. They are open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m., Friday and Saturday open till 11 p.m. Locally owned, Panuni's Pizza and Wings on 1447 East Main in Brownsburg. The McDonald's Hendricks County Sports tune into it on xrbradio.com every Friday at 5:30 p.m. for the McDonald's Hendricks County Sports Show. Join Brian Scott for a full hour as he interviews coaches and student athletes from Brownsburg and Avon High Schools. You can also watch the taping in person at a McDonald's near you every Wednesday night. Check the McDonald's Show broadcast page on xrbradio.com, audiosportsonline.com for store locations.
Well, Chris, a nice halftime performance by the band. We're about 8 minutes away from the second half kickoff, which will have McCutcheon receiving the kick. So a really nice transition of events there at the end of the first half. McCutcheon's down 35-0. They make a nice defensive stop and get a turnover. They score back-to-back touchdowns. They trail 35-14, and they get the ball coming out of the second half. So it's really back-to-back possessions for them. They drive and score. It's a 35-21 game early in the third quarter. Now we got something to talk about.
Sure, we want Brownsburg to win and win big, but I think that was a good thing. Of course, we won a competitive game here. McCutcheon has to feel better, at least on the offensive side of the ball at halftime, when they look at how the game's gone so far. as Justin said, both teams need to make some adjustments on defense in the second half. Troy, I wanted to ask you about the IU Hoosiers. When do they open up? I think next week versus Indiana State, or is it this week?
Next Thursday night.
Indiana State.
Which a week from last night, home against Indiana State.
Okay.
Of course, Indiana State comes in with one of the best running games in the non-BCS conference football. Caused the Hoosiers fits last year with what is probably not nearly as good of a defensive effort as they have this year, but caused them fits. IU did end up winning the game, but not in impressive fashion like they probably should. Also to be noted, this is the last year that the Big Ten schools are allowed to play non-BCS opponents in their football schedule. Yeah. And looking ahead to the Hoosiers schedule, and you look at, they have teams. They got Maryland coming into the league and Rutgers, who are both going to be in IU's conference in the Big Ten. And the face of Big Ten football is really changing.
It is going to change.
Along with that, the face of football in Indiana, as we've discussed in the early parts of the broadcast tonight, has really changed over the course of the last 10 years. Right here in Brownsburg, Avon, Plainfield, the Hoosier Crossroads Conference, Ben Davis, Carmel, and the list go on and on. Cardinal Ritter. All of these Speedway, all of these programs are really become hotbeds for recruiting for Division I programs in football.
No doubt about it. The Bulldogs had an important member of their team graduate, move on to IU, and Chase Dutra. I'm sure there'll be others.
And Dutra not only comes in as a kind of as a walk-on or somebody that they're glad they got, or the right place, right time. He was really recruited out of high school from here to play for the Hoosiers, and was mentioned in the same sentences with some of the best defensive players in the state of Indiana. The four best top recruits, really, four of the best top defensive recruits in the state of Indiana end up going to IU. Three of them after already committing to other schools earlier in their high school career and then changing their commitment to the Hoosiers. So the seeds have all been planted in Bloomington. Coach Wilson is a football mind. He comes from Oklahoma. You couldn't ask for a better seed than that for the program. And like I said, if you're going to play in the Big Ten now, you're going to have to be competitive.
Yes, and I know at least the media, the IU players so far have said if you're going to play in the Big Ten, you got to play better defense, as you mentioned. So they've got to improve on that defensive side of the ball. When Kevin Wilson first took that job, so many players left the program, and that bothered me. I wonder what's wrong. Well, it's because he was tough and had some discipline and brought some tough love, some tough discipline, and made players perform in practice and attend class. So that's why those players left. So I have a lot of respect for him now and wish the Hoosiers the best this year. Some of the captains, kickers, specialty teams making their way back onto the field. Fans now starting to file back into this large new grandstand. And I imagine if we polled every one of them, they're all happy with the new stadium.
It was really neat to drive back and forth back here often, just in my daily travels through Brownsburg and doing my errands and business and so forth, and to watch this thing evolve from being torn down and then the old turf being scooped up by the bulldozers and the dirt hauled out, and then this all takes shape. Really an interesting process to watch. And
it got done pretty quick.
Yeah, they did get it done pretty quick. I actually thought to myself, are they going to get that done in time for football? But obviously they knew that they were. And a great program, and now the lights are on. So now it really is Friday Night Lights, and not only lights on, but the
Operation Football
crew is here. The helicopter Chopper 13 has landed behind us in the west field off of the parking lot behind the press box. And so
Dave's going to fire off some T-shirts here, Troy.
Watch your local Channel 13 brand. I don't know if we can get Calabro down there. Not actually, we can. We can see Dave and the crew down there. So there they are.
Festive night here, opening night at the new stadium. Troy, where are the Royals at this weekend?
Well, they are probably losing Chicago White, which I can't. They came in set with the White Sox, the White Sox under 500, and they lost the first two. And at this point, I got a little bit of frustration in me, but they've come a long way, as they say. I did watch your Cardinals last night play the Braves. That was a
good win there.
Really nice win. To back, I think inning. Started off by Carlos Beltran, and
Cardinals doing Lance Lynn struggling a little bit. A great start, but to put together wins. Just looking ahead at the Brownsburg football schedule, next week home to Noblesville, away on Friday, September 6th at Hamilton Southeastern, then another home game, Friday, September 13th versus Westfield. The big Avon game this year on Friday, September 20th at Avon. The next week again away at Lafayette Jeff on Friday, September 27th. A home game versus Harrison Friday, October 4th. A big revenge game October 11th at Zionsville. And I know the juniors and seniors, after that heartbreaking loss in the sectional, want to get that one. They are at Zionsville Friday, October 11th. Close out the home slate on Friday, October 8th versus Fishers.
I got to brag a little bit to you, Chris, and talk about that Avon game on Friday, September 20th, which Chris and I will be bringing you live here on the broadcast. My daughter attends Avon High School, and she's a freshman. She's the first incoming freshman ever to make the varsity dance team at Avon High School, so she'll be performing at the game. So
now Avon's been around for a little bit.
Well.
First freshman
ever. So she's excited about that. She's been dancing since she was 3 years old, and so very proud of her for that.
Here come the Bulldogs on the field for the second half. The Channel 13 crew still whipping up the fans. The student section to our right of the broadcast booth, and it is full up to the top of this large grandstand. They have their white togas on, all in good spirit. Just to give you a quick scoring rundown of the first half, Brownsburg got on the board first with a touchdown by our running back Tokes. We're just going with the first name here. Extra point by Dowers. That made it 7-0. A touchdown catch by Brownsburg's Welch. And an extra point by Dowers made it 14-0. Then running back Tokes got in the end zone again on a touchdown. Extra point Dowers. It was 21-0 Brownsburg at that point. They finished off the first quarter with a quarterback sneak by Jake Lambert. Extra point Dowers made it 28-0 after the first quarter. To start the second quarter then, Mr. Dotledge picked up a fumble, ran it in for a touchdown to make the score 35-0 after the extra point by Dowers. And then McCutcheon got on the board. A touchdown by Dino, extra point by Shake, made it 35-7. And then there just before the half, running back Elming got in for McCutcheon, extra point Shake. And that's where we stand right now with a halftime score of 35-14.
Well, the Brownsburg offense has really circulated around five things. That's the quarterback, Jacob Lambert, Devontae Allen, the 6'1", 175-foot running back who's a junior, Tyler Welch, who had a touchdown catch and another really nice reception for some long yardage, and then Tokes Akinrabadi, and he's been all over the field.
Yes,
and
expected.
Then the fifth element, that is the offensive line of the Bulldogs, and they've absolutely dominated the off against the defensive line of McCutcheon.
Certainly. Pete Fay Insurance, you're finally on your own, living in your own place, paying your bills, making your own decisions. When your decisions involve insurance and financial needs, it's nice to have a little help. State Farm agent Pete Fay knows that being on your own shouldn't feel like being alone. Visit State Farm agent Pete Fay at 431 East Northfield in Brownsburg. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Well, we're getting ready to get the second half underway here. 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in the halftime clock on the scoreboard. The halftime score, Brownsburg 35, McCutcheon 14. And the lights are on. The sun has started to crest behind the press box. It's really going to be a really nice atmosphere for the second half here, guys, for this high school football game on Friday night. Opening game of Class 6A football, Hoosier Crossroads Conference in the IHSAA here at CF Roark Field in Brownsburg. Rather dominating performance, especially in the first, we'll call it about a quarter and a half of the first half by Brownsburg. McCutcheon makes a nice drive, scores. They get a break on the ensuing fumble, the ensuing possession by the Dogs, get a recovery, and then punch it in on a really nice management of the clock, too. McCutcheon had a lot of opportunities to make some errors to not score that touchdown at the end of the first half, and they ended up punching it in with about 12 seconds to go.
Used their timeouts well. We do have a halftime score. And a bit of a surprise, Carmel leading Tech. Are you ready for this score? Carmel 6, Tech 2, and that is a halftime score.
There's been a lot of talk about the Tech football program and kind of really has maybe become the magnet school for football and for IPS. And, a lot of those, IPS made the decision, Indianapolis Public Schools a few years ago, to trim back programs at some of their other schools. And a lot of talk about Tech, maybe an up-and-comer with one of those inner-city powers.
Here's another halftime score. Brownsburg fans will like this one. Hamilton Southeastern up over Avon 14-0.
So the Royals leading the Orioles there in HCC play as well. A lot of action in this first half. I mean, this has not at all been This has been a really exciting game to call from a broadcasting standpoint. A really exciting game for the fans. And you know what? Those last 2 touchdowns there by McCutcheon really make this thing a lot more interesting in the second half.
Let's see who gets the ball first this half.
It should be McCutcheon getting the ball because they did defer. They actually won the toss at the beginning of the game and deferred to the second half. So anybody in their right mind obviously would take the ball the second half to start that.
Well, that's one of the things we talked about is McCutcheon, with that nice clock management in the first half, scores a touchdown, and now they can turn around and pretty much, even though Brownsburg got a possession and took a knee, come back and get the football right back here, and they're in a good spot to make this a 35-21 game.
For the last 2 minutes, Coach Brett Comer, head coach of Brownsburg, had 2 officials cornered there at midfield. I don't know what he was discussing, but a little bit animated there, and he's had them cornered now for the last 2 minutes.
A lot of enthusiasm, a lot of excitement about Brownsburg High School football this year, especially after last year. That ended in a real disappointing loss to Zionsville in the sectional. The Dogs go 9-0 in the regular season. They go and lose the first game of the sectional. Finish the season with a 9-1 record. McCutcheon last year 3-9 on the season.
Westside Plumbing. When plumbing problems arise, do you want a plumbing company with an impressive truck or fancy jingles? Of course not. You want your problem solved quickly and at an affordable price. At Westside Plumbing, we understand you want a plumber who is honest, respectful, and knows how to fix the problem. Westside Plumbing provides fast, professional plumbing service 7 days a week. When you invite Westside Plumbing into your home, be assured that they will be knowledgeable, timely, and will give your home the respect it deserves. You can call Westside Plumbing at 445-8399. That's 445-8399. Westside Plumbing, serving Brownsburg and all of Hendricks County, and they are at 445-8399.
All right, we're about ready for kickoff here. 12 minutes on the clock. The third quarter will be underway here in just a moment. McCutcheon back to receive. And back to receive the kick is number 23, Nate Dino. Had a really nice running back performance in the first half for the Mavericks. And the kick is in the air. Dino fading back into the south end zone. Makes the catch, and he's not allowed to bring that out. That'll be a touchback for the Mavericks. They'll take over at their own 20-yard line. 12 minutes on the clock here in the third quarter. We're just underway in the second half, 35-14. The Bulldogs lead, and joining us is Dr. Jim Snap, the superintendent of Brownsburg Schools. And Dr. Snap, we talked a lot about this new facility here at Brownsburg, and we talked about the cooperative effort with kind of a public and private partnership to build this great facility, and what it means for Brownsburg football and Brownsburg High School, and also what it means for really Indiana football itself. It's really started to improve and become a real important part of high school athletics in Indiana in the last 10 years.
Absolutely, and we're certainly thrilled with the partnerships with Bill Estes and both Ford and the Chevy Place and IU Health, and it's nice to see the Rourke family, long time tradition here, and you saw the band performing. We've seen PE classes out there, and it really feels like a community event tonight, not just a football game, but a community event with the thousands of people here. So it's been great.
Well, you got it. The stands are packed on the home side here, and I think there was about 4,000 people
Absolutely.
on this side of the stadium, and at least from our vantage point, it looks like it's packed. We got RVs in the west parking lot. People tailgating, a lot of people tailgating, and Operation Football's here. We have helicopters landing. Just a really great atmosphere and a great performance by the Bulldogs in the first half. You got to be happy about that.
Oh, absolutely, and to kick it off for Operation Football and our student section, 2-time defending Spirit champ. That's neat with their togas this evening, and the Dogs are playing very, very well, and so we're excited about that. Absolutely.
Dr. Snap, you built some good sponsorship relations to help make this all possible too. Talk about that for a minute.
Well, we have, and it's really easy when those folks are involved in our community and they want to support our students. And so it was not a hard ask. They went to him. They said, what happy to help. What would you like? Kelly Wagner, our new athletic director, did a great job getting the sponsors for the scoreboard. And that's really a nice addition. I would hate to think that old dilapidated scoreboard with the missing bulbs in this beautiful facility. So it really kind of completed what we're doing here.
McCutcheon a first down here.
Dr. Snap, talk real quick, and then we'll let you go and
Sure.
get back to your duties here tonight. But 6A football,
Right.
what's that mean for Brownsburg High School?
Well, Brownsburg High School is the 18th largest high school in the state of Indiana. I don't know that a lot of people realize that. There is obviously considerable.
And there you go. A sack from behind the ball. There's going to be a big scramble on the field now as Jamie Fryer is brought down from behind looking to pass the ball. He looks like he might be hurt a little bit. At least got the wind knocked out of him. And Dr. Snap, the Bulldogs have the football.
Sure, that's right. 6A football is going to be a tremendous challenge for us. You know, when you look at the Carmels and the Ben Davises that have about twice the enrollment of Brownsburg, the top two high schools size-wise in the state. But last time we played Ben Davis, we competed very well with them, and our kids play hard regardless of who they play. So I think it's going to be interesting. Our schedule changes next year. We'll open up with Pike and Lawrence North, two large schools in 6A. And as that conference transition begins to happen, but I think it's going to be exciting. And the nice thing is our fans travel better than any fans in the state of Indiana. That's been wonderful to see.
Well, it's been real exciting to see the evolution of the high school football program here at Brownsburg, both on and off the field. Thank you very much for joining
Absolutely.
us. Absolutely.
Thanks for doing the game. Appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Dr. Jim Snap, Superintendent of Brownsburg Community School Corporation, joining us here. And during our conversation, McCutcheon on a series of running plays, they got about a 3rd and 5. Moving to the left side was the quarterback, Jamie Fryer, was brought down from behind. A forced fumble. A ball gets on the turf, recovered by the Bulldogs. And they've got a 35-14 lead with 10 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. And the football at the McCutcheon 36. That's going to be 2nd and 8.
Troy, that was a great play on defense by Stone Neese. The quarterback had actually, his receivers were covered downfield, tried to make a run out of it. Stone Neese came from behind and hammered him, caused the fumble.
Coming out of the huddle of the Bulldogs, Jacob Lambert, the quarterback under center. In the backfield is number 44, Tokes Akinrabadi. In motion, number 21, Devontae Allen. The pitch goes to Allen around the left side, cuts back up the field, and he's down to the 25-yard line, down to the 26-yard line. Really nice run. And I got to tell you, Devontae Allen, number 21, has got some really nice speed out there.
Absolutely. He's that over-the-top guy. Made the quick pitch to him. He's going to make a lot of plays on his own without blocking. He's going to a lot of jukes down the field. He actually trailed a guy there for a minute and almost spun out of the tackle. I thought he was going to break free there for a second, but they're inevitably able to pull him down.
Really dynamic back, and that's what the Bulldogs have been all night on offense. Have been really exciting to watch. Racking up some points. They've got 35. We've got 9 minutes left to go in the third. And they're at the 24-yard line in McCutcheon, 1st and 10. And almost brought down behind the line of scrimmage, and then brought down back to the line of scrimmage is Jacob Lambert. He faked the pitch, number 23, Tyler Welch, and was going to keep it himself. Turned around, and Lambert's brought down at the line of scrimmage.
Defensive end there kind of caught that and really crashed hard there on the it was going to actually be a reverse. But the defensive end picked it up there for McCutcheon and really crashed the play and busted it up. And so Lambert had to do a little footwork on his own there.
Number 10, Michael Clare, checks into the game. Out is number 14, Jalen Hall. Clare will be the near side wideout receiver. Under center is the quarterback, Jacob Lambert. The lone back is Akinrabadi. In motion again, number 21. And the handoff goes to Akinrabadi, and he is down to about the 14-yard line. In motion on that play again was Devontae Allen. And if you're McCutcheon on defense right now, you got to watch everybody. You've got the quarterback, Lambert, that can run with the ball. You've got Akinrabadi, who can power forward. You've got Devontae Allen, who if he gets out into space is going to cause you tons of problems. Just like you said earlier, Hobbs, it's a triple option, and you really do have a lot of those options are there.
Don't forget Tyler Welch, number 23, out there. He's lined up in the H-back, slot right, now goes in motion.
So Welch in motion. The handoff is into Akinrabadi. He cuts back left. Touchdown, Bulldogs. Nice run. 14-yard touchdown run by Akinrabadi, and that is exactly what the Bulldogs needed coming into the third quarter after giving up those late touchdowns.
You know, if I don't say so myself, I think I could have ran that ball into the end zone right there. There was about a 10-yard gap there that the Bulldogs line had created for Akinrabadi to drive it just on the left-hand side. And
the crowd is looking back to the north.
Looks like there's a little
There's a fire burning
little
out there.
fire burning, and
I don't know if it's a vehicle or a back porch of a house.
the fire.
Nonetheless, that has
tell
attracted
you-
some attention.
I can tell you that if you'll like this, the BFT, Brownsburg Fire Territory, well represented. We've seen Chief Brown, William Brown here all over this sideline.
Fire Marshal has
Fire Marshal Steve
been
Jones.
present. So the Bulldogs come out and do exactly what they needed to do and score a touchdown, a nice defensive stop, force a turnover on defense with McCutcheon getting the ball on offense at the beginning of the second half. 42-14, the Bulldogs lead.
Ivy Tech, now is the time to choose Ivy Tech Community College. There is no more affordable option in the state of Indiana for your college education. You can earn an associate's degree and start a career, or transfer to a four-year school and earn a bachelor's degree. A college education is more accessible than ever before. You have choices. Make the Ivy Tech choice. Visit ivytech.edu or call 888-IVY-LINE.
42-14, 7:44 left to go in the third. Brandon Bowers, the kicker for the Dogs, will kick it from his own 40. The kick is up, and it is going to make the end zone, and that will be a touchback.
What a
For
strong
McCutcheon.
leg that kid's got. Has he missed the end zone yet on
He's
a
really,
kickoff?
it's a no doubt about it, kicking from his own 40-yard line. He's putting that thing in the end zone, with the exception of the two times, one unsuccessfully, one successfully, that they tried to do the kind of over-the-top onside kick and kind of fool McCutcheon.
Hey, just a note, I checked the McCutcheon sideline. After that forced fumble there, their quarterback, Jamie Fryer, did hold his arm while going off the field, but he was standing on his own over there with no medical attention, and indeed he's taking this first snap here.
So Fryer does come back in the game, and the lone back is Dino. The handoff, no, it's not Dino. The handoff goes number 38, Blake Elming. He goes around the right side, cuts up, and is just short of the first down. Looks like a gain of 8. He's out to about the 27-yard line. We're going to call it a gain of 7. It's going to be 2nd and 3. It's going to be 2nd and 3 from the 28. McCutcheon really has no other option here but to drive it and score a touchdown, and they could use a quick one. 7:38 left, 42-14 Bulldogs.
They have
Here in the
shown
third
signs throughout the first half, more towards the latter part of their air game, being somewhat successful. But with the clock moving, they need to do a little more than just ground and pound.
Fryer under center. Nate Dino is the far receiver to the far side. The handoff goes to Elming again, gets around, and he is short of the first down. Far side official knocked down on that play, but he hops up. Looks like he's all right.
He's forced out of bounds now by number 11 of the Bulldogs, Brooks Brierly, a 5'11 junior.
Fryer checks the play calling slip on his wrist. Goes to the huddle. So Fryer under center. Lane Beeler and Blake Elming are both in the backfield. Nate Dino is the near side receiver. Handoff goes to Elming again, and he pounds his way forward for the first down across the 30-yard line. First down and 10 for McCutcheon.
Boy, nose guard, big number 91, Mac Dutra, continues to have a good game as he led the gang tackle on that. We do have a Brownsburg defensive player on the field holding his knee, and he is staying down for the time being. We'll get you a number here when we can. Looks like number 63, Jake Trout, will check in for him.
Looks like Justin Lazaro, number 79, is down on the field.
Training
Hendricks
staff
County
coming
estate
out.
buyers running a little short on cash or got some collectible items around the house you don't need or want? Take them to Hendricks County estate buyers in Brownsburg. They buy gold, silver, coins, tools, electronics, and antiques. They specialize in one-piece or entire collections. If you have an estate or household liquidation, call them first. Ask for Justin at 317-286-3652, 7 days a week. They're on the corner of Main and Odell in Brownsburg. That's Hendricks County Estate Buyers.
You know, it looks kind of like just from the naked eye up here in the booth and my amateurish webmd.com experience. It looks like Lazaro's experiencing some cramping, which is very typical on a night like this. I know they've gone through several practices throughout the season to kind of work those muscles, get those muscles trained and in condition. But, hey, when it comes Friday night, you're pumped up a little more, adrenaline's going a little more. You might not have eaten well throughout the day, just with the little nerves throughout for your first game. So it does look like it's just some cramping in the calf and maybe the hamstrings going on, and hopefully he can get those worked out here, maybe sit out maybe just a couple plays and then get back into some action.
It's a nice night, but it's a humid night as well. And out there, a lot of running up and down the field. He's got a half of football already in him. He does look like he's having some cramping, and he looks like, from the looks of it, he's having some pretty uncomfortable cramping as well. It looks like he might be in a pretty significant amount of pain.
And while that's going on, Brownsburg defensive coaches don't waste the opportunity. They are meeting with the defense over here at the 35-yard line and giving them their instructions. It's this big crowd still here. A beautiful night.
I think somebody might call for an order of bananas over here at the local marsh to get some potassium in the system to help with that cramping.
Nelson Jewelers. Did you know Nelson Jewelers in Brownsburg has been serving Hendricks County and the west side of Indianapolis with an extensive selection of finer diamonds and gemstones since 1958? Nelson Jewelers is a family-owned jewelry store specializing in unique jewelry repair, appraisals, and watch repair. Nelson Jewelers is conveniently located in downtown Brownsburg across from the Hendricks County Bank. Visit Nelson Jewelers for all of your jewelry needs at 22 East Main Street and online at nelsonjewelers.com. A little out of the way, very much out of the ordinary.
I'd like to remind everybody we'll be right back here next week, a week from tonight, 7 p.m. from CF Roark Stadium here in Brownsburg as the Bulldogs take on the Noblesville Millers in IHSAA football action. The Bulldogs, as the aforementioned injured player who was down on the field, it was indeed number 79, Justin Lazaro. Looks like he's probably having some cramping in his legs there. Walks under his own power.
Actually, this is probably one of the hottest days that the Bulldogs have actually played with such a mild winter or mild summer that we've had. It's probably different.
Back to pass is Fryer over the middle to Blake Elming, makes the reception.
I thought for a minute there Nathan Ramsey on the outside rush was going to get him, but it was kind of a little lot of screen pass right there. So that's why the left tackle for the Mavericks didn't pick him up, because they knew he was going to dump it off pretty quickly.
Fryer showed some composure there too, with a man running in his face. He's backpedaling, able to step up and make the completion. Fryer under center again. The handoff this time goes back to Elming again. Blake Elming stopped real close to the line of scrimmage. He might have got one, but I don't think he did.
78 Brandon Weber, the defensive lineman, made the stop with a host of others.
We'll say no gain. 3rd and 3 from the 37. I got to tell you, in watching McCutcheon and the difference between going with the two-set back like they are or have been, and then having Nate Dino in the backfield is just a really difference. And Dino was so effective early, and they've kind of gone away from that. Elming is the lone back. The handoff goes to him again. He cuts to the near side, and he's brought to the turf.
Zach Carlson on the tackle. He has had a heck of a night.
I mean, as good as the running back always is, you got to have your front five up there blocking, and that time the Bulldogs were able just to.
That brings up 4th and 3, or 4th and 4 on the last loss of one on the play, and the Mavericks are going to kick.
This will be the second punt of the day for the Mavericks, and the first one wasn't actually a beauty.
No, it was not.
Back to receive, number 9, Brad Gullinger, 5'7" junior.
Looks like we're going to get a timeout on the field. And And no indication on who took the timeout. It was Brownsburg, their first timeout of the second half. They'll have 2 left. 5 minutes, 25 seconds left. The Bulldogs lead at 42-14.
Pete Fay, nothing makes you think of the future like holding it in your arms. The wonder of being a new parent includes planning for your child's future, and now's the time to start looking to someone who's been there from the start. State Farm agent Pete Fay in Brownsburg can ensure your life insurance will keep pace with your family's growing financial needs. So for more information on life insurance, visit State Farm agent Pete Fay at 431 East Northfield, Suite 100 in Brownsburg. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Also, Westside Plumbing. When plumbing problems arise, do you want a plumbing company with an impressive truck or fancy jingles? Of course not. You want your problem solved quickly and at an affordable price.
McCutcheon out from their sideline. The timeout is over. Fryer under center. Out to punt. And number 4, Jake Shake. And they're going to fake it. The snap goes to number 44, Caleb Harper, and he is across the 40-yard line for the first down.
Flag on the play.
And there is a flag on the play. We'll see who it's against. We'll get an indication from the official. They're going to pick it up. No flag on the play. So they pick up the flag, and on the fake punt, a nice run around the near side by Caleb Harper. And first down for McCutcheon, and really they had to have that.
I'd be very interested to see why Coach called the timeout there, because that only helped McCutcheon probably devise that plan. Maybe they were thinking it was going to be like a shorter punt, so maybe have a couple guys curl back. So they were just thinking punt the entire time, and then McCutcheon comes out of the timeout and runs the successful fake.
When you got to be looking across the sideline field, the other sideline, thinking they got to be desperate at this point, or a little bit desperate, and maybe pull something out of the hat.
Absolutely. With 5 minutes to go in the third quarter, you're down 5 scores. So something's got to go on.
Fryer takes the snap. Pass is incomplete to the right side.
Threw down the field there a little bit. A high arching pass to the right side. Went out of bounds. Really no chance to catch it for the McCutcheon receiver. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 here.
2nd and 10 from the 42-yard line, their own 42. Third quarter, 4:55 left. The Bulldogs lead it 42-14. Fryer under center. And now Nate Dino is in the backfield. The handoff goes to Dino on the right side. Far side, cuts back up the middle. Nice run, and he's down to almost midfield, about the 49-yard line, before he's brought down. And a nice run. Again, every time that Dino's been in the game and been the featured back, he's really shown he's got positive yardage and broke some big runs.
Mac Dutra, another tackle there.
Dutra's really wrapping up the defensive stats, has been since the onset of the game. So 3rd and 4 from the 49 now. Fryer takes the snap, handoff to the running back, Belming up the middle, and he's real close to the first down, and I think he's got it. Blake Elming up the middle for what looks like a gain of 5, maybe a gain of 4.5, and he's got the first down.
Zach Carl, the Bulldogs. McCutcheon again moving the ball here.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 from the Brownsburg 47. 4 minutes and 5 seconds left to go in the third quarter. 42-14 Brownsburg. Near side receivers R.J. Blair. In the backfield is Nate Dino. Fryer takes the snap, hands the ball to Dino, cuts up the right side. Meets a gang of Brownsburg tacklers. Gets a gain of about 2. Should be 2nd and 8.
Fully dark now. The field well lit by the lighting here, and the lights have taken over. Friday night lights here in the Hoosier Heartland.
Fryer takes the snap. Handoff goes to Elming this time, and he's going to break it for a touchdown. 20-10-5 score. Huge hole up the middle right there, and nobody touched him.
Shows some good speed.
So just like that, McCutcheon comes out and scores, and it's 42-20. 3:15 left to go. Extra point coming here in the third quarter. So Blake Elming takes the handoff from Fryer. I don't know if the Bulldogs are thinking pass there.
Actually, it looked like they actually had a blitz with the mic. It was just the wrong gap, the wrong time, and the right guard there made a nice seal block on the nose tackle of the Dogs, and then it was nothing but purple and not purple jerseys, purple end zone for the Mavericks.
42-21. The extra point is good. 3:15 to go here in the third quarter, and on that touchdown, we'd like to say hi to Kathy Jones, who is listening from home, taking in some Brownsburg Bulldog football action on this Friday night.
You know, if anybody ever wants a shout-out, they can always tweet me, and I'll shout it out over the line at Justin M. Hobbs. So follow me, tweet me. I know this is kind of a shameless plug for my Twitter, but hey, anything will help. I know these guys got some Twitter handles as well, so once you guys rattle those off.
You can send questions to any three of us or comments, and we will read them on the air. Justin's given his Twitter address. You can tweet me or message me at tweimer111. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. I didn't even know my own Twitter address. Well, I don't often tweet myself. Honestly. The kickoff is up, fielded at the 10-yard line, and brought down by a gang of McCutcheon tacklers at the 15 is number 23, Tyler Welsh. At tweimer11 is my Twitter account. You can tweet us some questions or comments or read them on the air. Justin, you can reiterate yours real quick.
Justin M. Hobbs, at Justin M. Hobbs.
And Mr. Worley?
At Worley CPW, I believe.
Like I said, it's like knowing your own phone number in this day and age, right?
I'm pretty sure that's right.
Brownsburg comes in, taking the snap and handing off to the right side and almost breaking it for a big run is Akin Rabadi. He's down to about the 35-yard line.
Boy, that was a big hole on the right side. Good blocking there up front by Brownsburg offensive line.
Nice pitch from Lambert. Really the only mistake we've seen the Bulldogs make offensively tonight is the fumble in the first quarter. And again, they lead at 42-21. .243 left to go in the third quarter. Under center is Lambert. Handoff goes to Akin Rabadi again, and he's across the left side, and he's down to about the 44-yard line.
Evan Mallory, number 77, 6'5", 295-pound junior offensive line with some good blocking on that. Brownsburg offensive line making some holes for the running attack.
They're going to call it 2nd and 1. It's a little bit more than 1, about the length of the football more than 1 from the 44-yard line. 2:33 left to go in the third quarter. Bulldogs lead McCutcheon 42-21. And they're going to conference up on the sideline here as McCutcheon takes the timeout.
Hendricks Regional Health. Motion 360 by Hendricks Regional Health provides care for the way you were meant to move. We care for every muscle, bone, and joint in your body to get you back to the activities you love. Get more information online at mindmotion360.org. Also, our friends at the Hendricks Flyer that have helped tonight's video webcast possible. Please check them out online as well. And you can watch the game at flyergroup.com.
You know, Rob wanted to extend this happy birthday out because it is one of his favorite human beings alive. Subway's own Jared Fogel's birthday is today. So we want to wish Mr. Fogel a happy birthday and have something else besides a 6-inch sub.
Yeah, treat yourself to something besides a 6-inch sub. I agree with that 100%. Bulldogs out of the timeout. Lambert takes the snap. He's going to take it himself, and he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of a couple of yards. They had him at 2nd and 1. That's going to bring up about 3rd and 3, maybe 3rd and 2, depending on the spot.
Good tackle there by McCutcheon's Mr. Devin Snyder, number 61, a 5'10 defensive lineman.
Loss of 1 yard. They're going to call 3rd and 2 from the 43 now. The Bulldogs from their own 43. 2 minutes and 8 seconds, and the clock running here in the third quarter. The Dogs lead it 42-21, and they've got the football. Lambert under center. Akinrabadi is the lone back. In motion is number 21, Devontae Allen. And the pitch goes to Allen to the near side, and he's brought down. A nice open field tackle there by number 12, Lucas Robinson. Wrapping up his legs and keeping Allen from getting around the side. There's a flag down on the play. We'll see. They're going to call clipping.
Yeah, it looks like an illegal block there on the Bulldogs, so that's going to take him back. I think that if they accept the penalty, it'll stay 3rd down, and it looks like that's what the coaches for the Mavericks want to do.
So the run made it back to the line of scrimmage, made it 3rd and 1. Well, actually, a gain of 1 after the loss of a yard on the previous possession. Made it 3rd down. It was a 2nd and 2, made it 3rd and 1.
You know, fans, this game is also being simulcast on IndianaTalks.com as well as XRBRadio.com. Our friend Shane Ray on duty. And we want to welcome all those listeners and watchers of our simulcast with Justin on the camera here doing a good job trying to give you a good video picture here as well as the audio that we do provide.
Minute 41 left in the third quarter, 42-21 Brownsburg. Lambert under center. In motion is number 33, Daniel Ferguson. And
I think that pass there was a little too good to the Mavericks defender. He didn't even know it was coming. It was kind of one of those things, surprise, the ball's in your chest. And thankfully he dropped it.
Trying to dump the ball in the flat, I think, to Akinrabadi, and the ball ended up in a defender's lap from McCutcheon, who, as Justin absolutely said, had no idea the ball was coming and didn't know what to do with it when it got there, really.
And that's, as they say, that's why they play defense.
That's why they play defense. So for the first time, I think, the Bulldogs will be kicking, and Nathan Ramsey is the punter. Gets the punt off. It's fielded near midfield by McCutcheon, and they'll have the ball just on their side of the 50-yard line. 1:26 left to go in the third quarter. 42-21, the Bulldogs.
Bill Estes Ford. At Bill Estes Ford, our number one goal is to save you time. Whether you are dealing with our service department, parts department, or new and pre-owned sales, our goal is to make sure you are a satisfied customer and that it's an easy process. Don't forget, you can have a complete oil change at just $19.95. Check them out online at BillEstes.Ford. BillEstes.Ford at 450 East Northfield Drive in Brownsburg. Call today, 852-2231.
Sorry about that, Chris. I didn't mean to cut you off, but the handoff goes to Nate Dino, who's slow getting up. He gets the ball across midfield. Looks like for a gain of 7. It's going to be 2nd down and 3 for McCutcheon at the Brownsburg 46. 1 minute left to go in the third quarter. Bulldogs lead it 42-21.
Mac Dutra, another tackle there. Lines up against that McCutcheon offensive line.
Fryer under center. Takes a snap. Handoff goes to Elming.
That ball's loose.
Ball's loose, and I think the Dogs got it, and they do.
Ball's loose. It looked to me like it was on the ground. But they're going to say it was not. He was not down.
34, Nathan
and it's going to be
Ramsey
Brownsburg football again.
On the fumble recovery, Nathan Ramsey, the recovery.
It's one of the things that a luxury, if you want to call it a luxury, so maybe not some purists think so, but you don't have that luxury of replay at the high school level, and those officials are out there in real time making that determination. Was he down? Was he not? The ball on the turf? Yes or no?
Yeah, I think the forward progress might have been stopped, but the play has to be called dead first, and that ball was definitely out before that whistle was blown.
Handoff goes into Akinrabadi, and he has brought nice run, continues to run, and a flag comes down on the play. And he has really been hard to bring down. It's taken 2 or 3 McCutcheon defenders to bring him down about every time he's touched the ball.
Indeed.
He's down to the 39 of McCutcheon. We'll see what the flag is.
Just the way that official threw the flag, I thought it might be a holding behind the play, and looks like that is going to be a holding against Brownsburg.
So the holding call against the Bulldogs, that'll move them back.
I think we actually had a legal block in the back there.
There you
It
go.
looked like what the head official called there, and it's probably I don't know exactly who was on. My guess, wide receiver downfield a little bit, and blocking one of the DBs in the back as Akron Rabati was making his run.
So the illegal block takes them back to the 45, to their own 45-yard line. 42-21 Bulldogs, and
believe it or not, it's 1st and 10 again.
1st and 10, and this will be the last play of the third quarter. Handoff goes to Akron Rabati. He's around the right side, cuts across midfield, and gets down to about the 45, 46-yard line of McCutcheon, where he's forced out of bounds. That stops the clock with 10.1 seconds left to go in the third. I thought it might take me 4 games to get Akron Rabati's name right, but I think I got it.
Good job, Troy.
I believe you do.
Not an easy thing to do. He sure is a talent, though. He's only a sophomore. He is 15 years old, so you will see plenty more of him in Brownsburg High School football future.
Well, and we talked about the up-and-coming program here at Brownsburg, Indiana football as a whole, and that's a really good example of it right there. A sophomore, 15 years old, really coming out and dominating this game from the offensive side. Looks like that they did not get the snap off. Well, they got that called a timeout. So
he's got good size. He looks like a good athlete now, but he's got room to grow, of course, at 15 years old. So I would expect him to only get, bigger and stronger.
And at 15 years old and only a sophomore, comes out and has a really good year this year in this Class 6A football now in Indiana. He's definitely going to be getting some looks starting at his junior year without question.
Absolutely, just because with the competition, like Dr. Snap said earlier, discussed with we're opening up next year with Pike and then Lawrence North. I mean, you don't even have to have somebody good on your team, but with bringing those schools in, you're going to have scouts at your games, no matter if they're looking for your team or most likely on somebody on the opposite team as well. So just with this 6A, it really opens the eyes up for a lot of the scouts around the country. They can go to one game and see plenty of talent.
I did ask, too, the coach about the strength and conditioning of these kids, the program they worked on over the summer. You don't talk about Brownsburg strength conditioning without talking about strength coach Brian Neese. Have you ever seen him up close? He's definitely a specimen of strength, but these kids, coach said, really worked out hard over the weekend on their strength and conditioning program.
So 9 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Lambert takes the snap, fades back, and the Bulldogs are going to pass and lay it up over the field, and he almost caught it. Tipped up in the air. Tyler Welch could not get 2 hands on it. A dangerous tip up in the air. Could have given the ball right back to McCutcheon. The ball hits the turf. And that brings up 3rd and 1.
Going back to the strength and conditioning, Mr. Neese, he's been in Brownsburg schools for, I don't know, ever since I was around, graduating back in 2002, but we didn't actually have the luxury of using him as our strength and conditioning coach, which, looking back on it, that was probably one of the dumbest things that we possibly could have done, is not utilize him, because he was one year one of the world's strongest men.
Yeah, and that right there is testimony to the evolution of the program, as the handoff goes to Akron Rabati around the right side, gets down to about the 39-yard line. I'm sorry, down to about the 42-yard line, a gain of 3 on the play. But that is another testimony about the evolution of the program. And so I think football has come in Indiana from here's your pads and a ball and guys out there calling plays to really more of a smaller college feel to it. Strength and conditioning, off-season conditioning, doing things as a team throughout the season or throughout the off-season, and all of those types of things, workouts, all those types of things have figured into the program becoming more successful, not only here but around the state.
Yeah, because recent rules changes have allowed coaches of football, baseball, basketball to work with their players a lot more. And I always thought it was quite a dumb thing that coaches could only work with their players a certain amount of time, a allotted season, maybe just a little bit here and there during the summer. Because what high school athletics should be all about is getting everybody better. With that's helped a lot of, and that's why you see the boost in programs from around as far as basketball, baseball, football, and every single sport that's out there. A lot more gym time, pool time, field time, and whatnot. So I mean, that's definitely really helped and definitely build. That's why you see much tougher athletes out there. But I'll tell you one thing that you don't see too much of anymore is the three-sport athletes. They've really focused, brought it down to maybe two, maybe just one sport that they focused on.
Yeah, I agree with that. My son's 9 years old and is in a baseball, basketball mode and doesn't play football, but that two-sport or even that one-sport athlete's becoming a lot more common these days. I think the days of seeing guys that, this guy was an outstanding track star, baseball player, and a high school quarterback may be gone. You're seeing some of that, baseball and then football, maybe that crossover still from quarterbacks and stuff like that. But I really think that focus on the one or just two-sport athlete is, you're exactly right, Justin.
Yeah, because if you're not focusing on that one sport the entire time, those other guys are, and they're getting better at you.
There's definitely a competition curve there that probably didn't exist a few years ago.
Nice run there by Jacob Lambert off the right side. He could have been brought down, but got 7 yards to make it 2nd and 3.
Dogs have pushed it down to the McCutcheon 34. The handoff goes up the middle to Akinrabadi again for a gain of a couple. It's going to bring up about 3rd and 1.
Troy, after that explosive first half of scoring, we saw only 2 scores in the third quarter. Brownsburg led that scoring off in the third quarter. A touchdown run by Tokes, extra point by Dow, made it 42-14, and then McCutcheon responded with a nice up-the-middle long run by Mr. Elming, his 2nd touchdown of the game. Extra point by Shake made it 42-21. That's where we stand right now with 10:40 left in the game.
We're going to call it a gain of 1. It's going to be 3rd and 2. Pitch goes to the left side, coming around the corner and making a nice dive for some extra yardage is number 23, Tyler Welsh.
Lambert was really looking to get that ball out of there because there were about 3 or 4 Mavericks that were blitzing right in the middle of the gaps, and so he had a quick toss out there, and he was able to get around the edge and pick up the first down.
So Welch is down to the 26-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 26. 10:23 left. The clock running. The Bulldogs lead it 42-21 here in the fourth quarter. Lambert under center. Akinrabadi is the lone back. The handoff goes to him across the left side. He breaks a tackle, gets across the 20, down to the 15, down to the 10, and he's brought down at about the 10-yard line. They're going to call it the 11. He's going to be really close to another first down. They're going to give him the first down. So another nice run by Akinrabadi for a first down across the left side.
Cole Taylor, the defenseman there for McCutcheon, was the only person that stood between him and a touchdown. He was able to drag Tokes down there.
The Bulldogs driving again impressively, relying on that running game. Akinrabadi is the lone back again. The receiver to the far side is Michael Clare. Lambert under center. In motion is number 12, Ethan Ogle. And a flag down. It's probably going to be a motion penalty, procedure penalty against the Bulldogs. And waiting on the call from the official. Oh, it's not. It's going to be a neutral zone infraction on the Mavericks.
I'll tell you one thing, when you watch Akinrabadi run, when he really runs up to the line, he really breaks down the defender that is directly across from him. By no means, sometimes he will put his head down and try to get a couple extra yards, but most of the time he's really breaking down, getting low, and he's either moving laterally side to side, or sometimes he'll just put a stiff arm on. He's shown a couple times tonight that really strong stiff arm and running some defenders down in the ground.
And putting Allen and Welch in, as in motion goes over, the pitch goes to on the right side, touchdown Bulldogs. I was just getting ready to say, putting Welch and Allen in motion has caused real fits for McCutcheon on defense because they don't know if they're going to pitch the ball to one of them, or they're going to give it to Akinrabadi up the middle. That time Ogle goes in motion. They pitch it to the right side. It goes in the end zone for another Brownsburg touchdown. So 9:22 left to go in the game, 48-21 with the extra point coming. The Bulldogs have really dominated this entire game. They had a couple of lapses, defensive lapses there towards the end of the first quarter, or towards the end of the first half, into the second quarter.
Nice run by Ethan Ogle there. All 5'9", 140 pounds of him. Senior there. The little guy made a nice run. We got an injured McCutcheon player on the side. That gives us a good chance to mention BMO Harris, established in 1882 as Harris Bank and owned by BMO Financial Group since 1984. BMO Harris Bank has grown to become one of the largest banks in the Midwest, serving personal, commercial, and affluent customers. They're located at 610 West Northfield Drive in Brownsburg. For more information, call them at 852-2683. Also, for Ivy Tech, now's the time to choose Ivy Tech Community College. There is no more affordable option in the state of Indiana for your college education. You can earn an associate degree and start a career, or transfer to a 4-year school and earn a bachelor's degree. A college education is more accessible than ever before. You have choices. Make the Ivy Tech choice. Visit Ivy Tech EDU 88 Ivy IVY line.
48-21 Brownsburg, 9:22 left to go in the game. Extra point coming. Brandon Dowers, the strong-legged kicker for the Bulldogs, is in for the extra point. He's made them all tonight. Kicked off very well, including a kind of a okey-doke kick there in the first quarter. Caused McCutcheon to fumble. That kick as well is up and good. And the Dogs lead it 49-21. 9:22 left to go in the fourth quarter. Well, a lot of things can happen in 9 minutes and 22 seconds, but this game seems to be somewhat well in hand by the Bulldogs. Justin, you look ahead to Noblesville next week. What should we expect from the Millers?
Honestly, I can't answer that question. It's from what I can remember in the past with Noblesville, is they've been fairly undersized as well. Haven't had any big guys. Very similar, maybe as in stature, to the Bulldogs. However, I think the Bulldogs have definitely had their number in the past years. Look, as far as the Dogs are concerned next week, I don't think they're going to switch anything and all of a sudden we're going to see an aired-out team. We're going to see that triple option until it absolutely goes. It would probably have to go backwards before they would change something. And as versatile as Akron Robati is, I just don't think anybody on the Millers team is going to present any true threat to his prowess out here on the field like tonight.
Well, we look forward to Noblesville coming in next week. We'll be here live on the broadcast again for you 7 o'clock from CF Roark Stadium in Brownsburg. Bulldogs lead it 49-21, 9:22 left to go in the game. Here in the fourth quarter, and the kickoff is up and deep, and McCutcheon a procedure penalty as they didn't quite get it in the corner of the end zone there.
I'll tell you one impressive thing about Brownsburg offense tonight. They don't have a field goal. We've talked about Mr. Dowers and how great he is. He has 7 points. All those have come on extra points. So when Brownsburg has had the opportunity to score, they pushed it in the end zone and scored touchdowns tonight.
That procedure penalty will give McCutcheon the ball on offense at their own 35-yard line. That's the second procedure penalty against the Bulldogs tonight on the kickoff. But Brandon Dowers has every other kickoff, and there's been a lot of them as the Bulldogs have amassed 49 points, has been in the end zone for a touchback.
A few new defensive players in now. Number 22, Jamar Conway made that stop.
Fryer takes the snap, or handoff goes to Dino up the middle. Short gain of 2. It's going to be 2nd and 8 from the 37. Dino now in the slot. Pass goes out that way, and it's incomplete.
Backup quarterback warming up on the Brownsburg sideline, Hunter Johnson. He's a 6'1", 170-pound freshman. He may get some playing time here tonight.
It'll be interesting to see the freshman and his skill set maybe coming up here towards the end of the contest. 3rd and 8 for McCutcheon from their own 37-yard line. Fryer with the calls. Barking him out. He's going to pass. Looking back to pass and cutting across. Now he's being chased down. He's going to be sacked. He had Dino in the flat. Couldn't get the pass off. Brought down from behind.
You know, he had a couple open receivers back there, but I guarantee he couldn't see over the 7 purple helmets that were right on top of him, and ultimately making the sack.
The Bulldogs have just really been solid on defense tonight. They had a couple of lapses there in the first half, at the end of the first half, and let McCutcheon score. They really tightened it up at halftime. I mean, they played really well the entire game, but they certainly did not come out flat in the second half at all. The snap and the punt by Jake Shake is fielded nicely at the 30-yard line, and cutting up the near sideline is number 9, Brad Gollinger, 5'7", 160-pound junior. Returns the ball back almost to midfield. They'll have the ball, it looks like, at about the 49, 48-yard line, their own 48.
Boy, Brownsburg had some dynamic punt returns with Mr. Dutra last year, Chase Dutra, right, Justin?
Absolutely.
I wonder if he'll be returning punts some for IU this year.
He's listed right now as a defensive back. Definitely, he's one that could definitely see the field and almost know what was going to happen before it actually did.
Yeah, vision ahead.
Absolutely.
We do have that new quarterback checking in. Let's get that name for you again. Hunter Johnson, the new quarterback.
Johnson hands the ball off to number 22, Jamar Conway. I'm sorry. That was Tyler Welsh, number 23, Tyler Welsh. Welsh is listed as a running back. He's played mostly kind of a slot receiver's role or H-back throughout the first half, but throughout this game, really. So under center now, as Chris said, is Hunter Johnson, number 15, the freshman quarterback. And the handoff goes now to number 36, Sam Hoffa. Goes across the right side for a gain of a couple. A gain of 1. They're going to say 3rd and 7 from the 49-yard line of McCutcheon.
Sam Hoffa, a sophomore, get a little time here at running back. Good experience.
Third and 7 from the McCutcheon 49. The freshman quarterback Hunter Johnson is in. He takes the snap, and he's going to pass. Rolling to his right side, throwing back across his body. Tipped up in the air by the wide receiver, number 85, Jasir Lewis. He's a sophomore. Incomplete pass. The freshman rolled out to his right really nice there, Chris, and actually made a pretty nice pass in some coverage.
That was a good pass. Easily could have been caught. It was a bullet. It may have been a little too fast for the receiver's hands, but that was a nice throw.
Nathan Ramsey on to punt for the Bulldogs, his second punt of the evening. Takes the snap, and the kick is away. Nice kick. And that's going to get out of bounds and not allow for a McCutcheon return. They're going to say it's out of bounds at about the 26, 27-yard line of McCutcheon.
Panuni's Pizza and Wings in Brownsburg has something for everybody. Pizza with more toppings than you can count, including specialty pizzas, 5 different kinds of calzones, breadsticks, and cheese bread with 2 kinds of dipping sauce. All made in-house with Panuni's own hand-tossed dough. And don't forget Panuni's Jumbo Wings with 12 kinds of sauce. Mention the XRB special and get 10% off your order. They're open Sunday through Thursday, 11 to 9, Friday and Saturdays till 11. Dine in, carry out, or free delivery. Call 286-3500. Panoni's Pizza and Wings at 1447 East Main in Brownsburg.
McCutcheon comes out of the huddle quickly. Under center is the quarterback, Jamie Fryer. He hands the ball off on the right side to the fullback, number 40, Lane Beeler. Beeler gain of about 1 or 2. I'm going to give him a gain of 1, 2nd and 9 from the 32-yard line.
Well, it looks like we're going to have a successful opening night here at the new stadium. Some of the fans making their way to the exit, but most of the crowds hung around.
Fryer takes a snap, hands off again to Beeler. He's brought down for a very short gain of maybe just a yard. Should bring up 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9. Well, they're going to give him 2 yards. They're going to call 3rd and 7.
You know, guys, I bet you those Noblesville Millers will bring a few crowd. They travel pretty good, especially here around central Indiana. They'll bring a good crowd next week.
Yeah, you're definitely going to have a larger student section that the Millers are going to bring.
Fry under center takes the snap. Goes up back to number 23, Nate Dino. Still on his feet across the 40 to the 42-yard line where he's brought down. And that's going to be a first down for McCutcheon. I'll say it once. I've said it a bunch. I'll say it again. When Dino touches the football, he's made things happen for McCutcheon.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, he's probably one of the only bright spots on this Maverick team. And as he runs off the field here, looks like he has met his match for the evening and is probably pretty tired, and he's probably going to feel it tomorrow with all the pounding that he's taken tonight.
Fryer under center, number 20, Levon Thompson is the running back.
Looking at next week for McCutcheon, they will be home against Zionsville.
Levon Thompson carries the ball for a gain of 1 to the 42-yard line, 43-yard line. It's going to be 2nd and 9. 4:22 clock running. The Bulldogs lead it 49-21. McCutcheon football at their own 43. 2nd down and 9. Fryer under center. Thompson in the backfield. Fryer takes a snap. Handoff goes to Thompson. Cuts back to the near side. Nice run. He's across midfield to the 40-yard line and down to about the 38-yard line of the Bulldogs. Nice run. He showed some real nice speed there as soon as he hit the gap and got a little bit of daylight. Four minutes and 2 seconds left as they move the chains. First down for the Mavericks.
Nice tackle there by
clock running.
Reserve Noah Devney, a 5'10 junior defensive back.
Number 45, Cole Jarrett, is the fullback. Handoff goes to him right up the middle and behind. Nice block from his nose tackle. Takes the ball across the 35, about the 34-yard line. 2nd down and 6. Three minutes and 18 seconds, clock running. Fourth quarter, 49-21 Bulldogs. Fryer takes a snap, handoff goes to Thompson, he falls down. So loses his footing there. Take him down for a loss of 1, should make it 3rd and 7.
Hey, Troy, that last tackle by Brownsburg made by number 56, Riley Ish, a junior, of course, his brother, what a baseball player for these Bulldogs, and Garrett Ish. Right fielder, did a lot for Brownsburg baseball.
Enjoyed watching Garrett during baseball seasons. Chris and I did the broadcasting for Brownsburg High School baseball this year. 2 minutes and 41 seconds, clock running. 49-21 Brownsburg.
Special guest, Mr. Ben Weimer, looking on here. He's got a big weekend coming up. He's going to the IU basketball camp in Bloomington.
Yes, he is. So is his dad.
Get some good experience down
his
there.
His dad and his grandpa.
Oh, all right.
Going. So we'll be there
Three
in the
generations in Bloomington.
in the assigned spectator section for the for camp tomorrow. It's going to be an early morning as we make our way to Bloomington at about 7 o'clock. Timeout on the field, taken by the Mavericks. 49-21, 2 minutes and 36 seconds left. Bulldogs lead.
McDonald's Hendricks County Sports Show. Tune in to xrbradio.com every Friday at 5:30 p.m. for the McDonald's Hendricks County Sports Show. Join Brian Scott for a full hour as he interviews coaches and student athletes from Brownsburg and Avon High Schools. You can also watch the taping in person at a McDonald's near you every Wednesday night. Check out the McDonald's Hendricks County Coaches Show broadcast on xrbradio.com or audiosportsonline.com for store locations.
Dropping back on picked off. There's a flag down on the play, so Fryer caught us by surprise with a really quick snap. Rolled to his right side, the near side towards the booth, and threw on the run. The pass was picked off by Tyler Kurz, number 13, a 6'1", 175-pound wide receiver / defensive back. He's a sophomore. And there was a flag on the play. It's going to be holding against the Bulldogs, so the Mavericks will...
Was that after the interception?
It looks like it was before. They're going to hold on to the football. The Mavericks offense stays on the field. That means Fryer at quarterback. Number 20, Levon Thompson, is the running back.
Brownsburg football games are simulcast on IndianaTalks.com as well as XRBRadio.com. We want to thank Justin for providing the pictures tonight. He's done a good job.
So a holding call against the Bulldogs, so the interception is negated. 2:30 left to go, 49-21 Brownsburg. McCutcheon comes to the line. Fryer under center. Thompson is the lone running back. Handoff goes to Thompson on the far side. Cuts back up the field. He's across to the 15, down to about the 12-yard line. Nice run across the left side. And he gets the first down. Another first down for the Mavericks on this drive. Back under center is Fryer. Thompson alone back. Snap goes to Fryer. Handoff to Thompson. Gets around defender in the backfield. Nice spin move and gets down to about the 5-yard line. They're going to put him down at the 6. That's a gain of 7 yards.
Brownsburg getting off to an early lead in this game really helped. They led 28-0 after the first quarter, 35-14 at halftime, 42-14 they led after 3 quarters.
2nd and 3 from the 13. A minute 42 left. Handoff goes up the middle to the big fullback, number 45, Cole Jared. 5'9", 200 pounds, the junior. He gets back to just past the line of scrimmage. They're going to give him a gain of 1. It's going to be 3rd down and 3, so McCutcheon can get a first down without scoring the touchdown. 1:07, the clock running. We're almost under a minute.
We do have a result in that our friends to the south, Plainfield High School, has won a football game over Columbus North.
And that Carmel Tech is final 6-2.
Wow. Tech defense.
Handoff goes to the left side. It looks like another first down for McCutcheon inside a minute. So the Mavericks trying to close this game out with a score of their own. They trail 49-21, the game out of reach, but they're still playing offense. So first down and goal to goal. In the backfield as the running backs, number 30, Dakota Lovelace. Fryer under center. The handoff goes to the fullback, and he pushes it forward for a touchdown. I believe that was Cole Jared, the fullback, number 45.
Yes.
And it was. So 49-27 with the extra point coming. 33.8 seconds left to go in the game. The Bulldogs lead. The Mavericks score what is most likely the last touchdown of the game. Once again, we'll be back next week, 7 o'clock, live from CF Roark Stadium for the Brownsburg Bulldogs and the Noblesville Millers coming down from the north side. Expect another really nice crowd. I will tell you this, it's supposed to get hot next week.
Is that right?
Yeah, really hot.
Yeah, summer is not over from what I hear, so
Some pretty high temperatures are going to be up in the mid to upper 90s possibly. We'll see how that affects everything that's going on. I know it's going to affect the temperature in this booth, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, we see if we can get Rob to pull some strings here and get us a window air conditioner or
box
something.
fan or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Brownsburg coaching staff, if I know them, that defensive staff, probably not happy letting up 28 points.
Well, and that's another thing to talk about here is, you scored 49, but you're giving up 28 points. So 49 to 28, 33 seconds left to go in the game. Bulldogs lead it. McCutcheon setting up for the kickoff.
On the McDonald's Hendricks County Sports Show next week, special guest will be Brownsburg head coach Brett Comer. That is on xrbradio.com every Friday at 5:30 p.m. for the McDonald's Hendricks County Sports Show.
Kick is up and going to be fielded by the Dogs. It got into the end zone. So I really think number 23, Tyler Wells, really wanted to bring that ball out, but it crossed the plane, so the official calls the touchback. High school, you cannot bring the ball out of the end zone. Once it crosses the plane, it's automatically a touchback.
One more time for our friends at Nelson Jewelers. Did you know Nelson Jewelers in Brownsburg has been serving Hendricks County and the west side of Indianapolis with an extensive selection of finer diamonds and gemstones since 1958. Nelson Jewelers is a family-owned jewelry store specializing in unique jewelry repair, appraisals, and watch repair. Nelson Jewelers is conveniently located in downtown Brownsburg across from the Hendricks County Bank. You can visit them online at nelsonjewelers.com. A little out of the way, very much out of the ordinary.
So Lambert takes the snap. The Bulldogs in the victory formation. He takes a knee, and that will do it. So the clock will run down. 15, 14, 13, 12. Your final score tonight from brand new CF Roark Stadium in Brownsburg, Indiana. Hoosier Crossroads Conference football, Class 6A football in the IHSAA. Welcome to a kind of a new era in IHSA football. The Bulldogs kick it off with a 49-28 victory over the McCutcheon Mavericks. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Beautiful crowd on hand tonight. We hope to see you all back here next week, 7 o'clock, all the same places for the Noblesville Millers and the Brownsburg Bulldogs. Thanks for joining us, everybody, and good night.